have headphones. Am I supposed to be able to hear you? We're live.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first annual Austin High Maroon Alumni Games. My name is James Sutton, and I'm humbly serving as the president of the Booster Club this year. Today, we celebrate 126 years of Austin High Maroon baseball, and the critical part that all of these guys played in getting us here today. We have a tremendous impact to this program, and thank you very much for taking time out of your day to be here. As we begin 2025 in the 127th season of Maroon baseball, we have a couple of quick housekeeping items. First, we do have restrooms. They're right across the street behind home plate of the softball field. You see a tan building, men and women's, both are working, both are functioning. Number two, we have food and drink back there next to the tents. We're taking cash donations or Venmo donations if you see the desire. We also have rosters out on the merchandise bench, so you can tell who's who. We've been blessed with 45 alumni, so we're running both gray and maroon colors for the alumni, because we simply didn't have enough jerseys for one color. We also have fitted varsity caps for sale at the merchandise booth, so you can wear the same caps that these guys have. Quick announcement, Maroon Madness will be Saturday, April 12th, right here. We'll have a home run hitting contest, so all you guys that don't jack one out today, come back on April the 12th, and we will have a home run hitting contest as part of Maroon Madness. Also, today, we are launching our right field fence raffle. You do not, and I repeat, you do not have to be present to win. But that right field fence is supposed to be upright at a 90-degree angle. If you go out there, it's more about an 80-degree. So we're trying to raise enough money to replace that fence as soon as possible. So here's what we got. Again, you do not have to be present to win. Drawing will be held February the 15th, right here. It will be after the JV1 and JV2 doubleheader. All prizes will be paid in Visa gift cards. First prize, $2,000. Second place, $1,500. And third place will be $1,000. And now, please welcome my very good friend and the voice of the Maroons, Mr. David Roy. Good afternoon. It is my privilege and honor to step a little closer. Okay, I'll speak. It is my privilege and honor to introduce our alumni. Managing the alumni with a career win total of 619 and the all-time winningest coach in Austin High history with 402 wins, Texas high school baseball legend, number 20, Glenn Botchak. From the class of 1983, playing under then coach Tom Hancock, number 32, Kevin Craig. We have four representatives representatives from the class of 1995. First, a two-way player for the Maroons, number 12, Ben Nuncio. Next up, he left Boston High as a .291 career hitter, including 41 career hits. Number 12, Seth Dressler. We have a two-year letterman and a two-way player. Number 21, Greg Bezel. Another two-year letterman and the uncle of current Austin High Maroon Jason Martinez. Number 34, Raymond Morena. He posted 8 wins off the mound and hit .327 his senior season. Write his name in on your roster for the class of 1996. Greg Cargill. Graduating Austin High in 1997 and leading in the top 15 in career hits with a number of 70 and scoring a .307 career batting average. Number 10, Ricky Garcia. We have 4 representatives from the class of 2008. A career .318 hitter for the Maroons. Number 3, Hunter Wilcox. Number 16, Will Hall. 4th in Maroon career hits with 98 and sporting a .325 career batting average. 3-year starter, number 17, Davis Callan. Prior to going on to a collegiate career at Texas Tech and Texas State, he finished 2nd in career hits with the Maroons with 108 and a career .346 hitting number. Number 10, Justin Berry. He's been all over the world playing professional baseball, including stints with the Minnesota Twins organization and the Savannah Party Animals, but not before hitting .406 in his senior season of 2009. Carson Golson. We have 3 representatives from the class of 2010, including a .267 hitter in his senior season. Number 1, Raymond Huerta. With 30 career hits to his credit. Number 14, Eric Atwood. And 25 career hits to go along with 20 RBIs for number 20, Michael Cunningham. With a .400 on-base percentage his senior season for the class of 2011, number 11, Ruben Salinas. Prior to playing college ball at Oregon State and professional baseball with the Kansas City Royals, he collected 64 hits for the Maroons while hitting .346 for his career. For the class of 2012, number 23, Travis Eckert. He picked up 53 career hits over a 3-year Letterman career. Number 13, Greg Salinas. The 4 going on. The 4 going on to be a 4-year starter and all Big 12 outfielder at Baylor University. He was a 4-year letterman at Austin High and set the record for most games played, most plate appearances, most at-bats, and is one of only 3 Maroons with more than 100 career hits. Number 21, Richard Cunningham. We have 3 representatives from the class of 2015. A career 288 hitter with 40 hits to his name. Number 2, Alexander Gonzalez. A 3-year letterman with 35 runs scored and 64 career hits. Number 6, Patrick Pate. Prior to continuing his career at Coastal Bend College, this 3-time letter winner collected 50 hits and scored 43 runs. Number 7, Ali Manchando. We have 2 representatives from the class of 2016. A 2-year letterman, number 1, Noah Renner. The 4 continuing his playing career at Coastal Bend College. He hit 385 with a 495 on base. With a 495 on-base percentage, number 8, Garrett Bowes. We have 3 representatives from the class of 2019. He hit 312 his senior season. Number 4, Sailor Clyde. As a pitcher, he struck out 45 and 42 in 2/3 innings pitched. Welcome back, number 22, Hutch Boynfisher. He hit 384 as a senior and was a 2-year letterman. Number 34, Wyatt Izell. From the class of 2017, 3-year letterman, number 11, DJ Lamone. Before he continued his baseball career at Prairie View A&M, he collected 25 hits in a COVID-shortened Maroon career. Number 15, Victor Mendoza. From the class of 2021 and current UMass Austin Beacon, number 24, Reed Circuit Schneider. We have 7 representatives from the class of 2022, collecting 30 hits over a 2-year letterman career before moving on to play for the University of Dallas Crusaders. Number 3, Tegan Mansfield. Posting 6 wins and a 2.88 ERA his senior season before continuing his baseball career in college, current behind Mountain Hawk, number 4, Grant Mueller. One of the leaders on the 2022 team, substituting for injured Weston Lehman, number 5, Jack Donahue. Collecting 30 hits, 2-year letterman, number 15, Hayden O'Shea. Scoring a 375 on-base percentage his senior season, number 18, Smarty Lockwood. Pitching in 13 games before currently being part of the Alumni Gators pitching staff, number 19, Douglas Malcolm. A 2-year letterman playing in 41 games before playing for TCS Postgrad, number 24, John Eric Yannick. We have 4 representatives from the class of 2023, flashing a 3.79 ERA over 2 years on varsity prior to playing collegiate ball at Oberlin College. Number 5, Jarrett Cole. First team all district after hitting 301 with a 474 on base percentage. Current Dodge City Community College catcher, number 8, Jackson Lindrock. This 2-way player played in 48 games over 2 seasons and flashed a 2.16 ERA his senior season. Number 16, Mateo Del Riego. He led his team in runs, scored his senior season, and led 2 years on varsity. Number 22, Jacob Gass. To round out the alumni roster today, we have 4 representatives from the class of 2024. Cook's current Trinity Tiger struck out 98 batters over 2 years on varsity for the Maroons. Number 7, Jake Beck. He is currently playing at Schreiner University. While playing for the Maroons, he led his team in home runs both seasons. Number 13, the Lumberjack, Jeff Underhagen. Flashing a 3.37 ERA over 62 1/3 varsity innings over 2 years, including a 2-team all-district award, current Regents Ranger, number 14, Luke Pizarka. Currently playing for the Geneva Golden Tornadoes, please welcome 2-year letterman, number 18, Aiden Lerner. And for your 2025 Austin High Maroons, number 1, Jaden Besa. Number 2, Javier Capinas. Number 3, James Scott. Number 4, Dane Callard. Number 5, Fletcher Wilson. Number 6, Carter Hayden. Number 7, Drew Anderson. Number 8, Gage Pitt. Number 9, Jimmy Brimble. Number 10, Abe Alejandro. Number 11, Ty Schreiber. Number 12, Logan Penny. Number 13, Javier Cruz. Number 14, Donnie Dominguez. Number 15, Charles Diaz. Number 16, Jason Martinez. Number 18, Landon Shipper. Number 19, Henry Shooter. And number 21, Osby Contreras. And now, for the national anthem, Jarrett Cole. You're out of my face. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, o'er the home of the brave?
don't know. I know this is one. I know it's plugged in. I just don't. But yeah, there's only one microphone plugged in. Everyone's headphones.
I thought you were going to be over there directing traffic. Yeah. Thought we talked about that. I was that's my man. Yeah, I thought you meant. My understanding was for the game, so I'm like, oh, I'm over here by myself. That's fine. Hopefully, I'll sound loud enough when it might cut out. All right.
You're using that one?
I'll use this one, yeah. Welcome in. We'll get this show on the road. We'll kind of do a little live testing as we go. But welcome in, everyone, to our first game, quote-unquote, scrimmage, exhibition match, if you will, of this evening. David Roy in the broadcast booth with you, as always, and joining me as per the usual for baseball season, Mr. James Scott, as the Alumni get set to take on the 2025 edition of the Maroons baseball team.
Happy New Year, David Roy.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
It is a blessing to be out here. I know the weather's supposed to turn on us late tomorrow afternoon. Should be 72 degrees. It's not sunny. It's overcast. But it is a blessing to be out here playing the great game of baseball.
Well, and, you know, had the conversation early on, was talking to Merle, our broadcasting director with Vipe, and we had the conversation all the way back, funnily enough, in October, and we're having the conversation, you know, we're already getting ready for baseball season. It felt so far away then. Now here we are, first weekend of January, and we got some baseball in front of us. It's no better time.
Yeah, we have tryouts in 2 weeks. So when we're calling the team in white, the varsity team, it's not really the varsity team. It's who could play out here. So we won't have tryouts until, I guess it's 2 weeks from yesterday, I believe it is.
Yes.
So we put a team together, returning varsity players, and then some guys that are that didn't play on varsity. The JV1 guys, JV2 last year. So it's a blessing to be out here.
Yeah.
Great to have the alumni back. We have 45-plus alumni playing in this game. When we first pitched this idea, we were hoping we would get 12 that were committed to play, and to see 45 or so show up, very humbling and speaks volumes about what this program and what this team has meant to them.
And we were talking about it last night, just kind of going over the final touches. And even last night, and even again, I think a little bit you said this morning, still having a couple people showing up, right?
That's right.
Saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. So there's no better atmosphere when you have that support. And, we were, going over it in the pregame. Going back 4 decades at this point, if not, maybe even a little bit further, of the support that is had here from the alumni, from those who have come before through this program and are here now ready to rock and roll. And for a lot of these guys, and we talked about it, a little bit throughout the course of the season, and as we come into it here, and we'll kind of get things started here. First pitch, a little bit of heat, and a strike called, but kind of coming in for a lot of these guys, it's Alumni. For some of them, have put on the glove.
Yeah, I hear him buzzing. Yeah, we get rid of it.
We're good? We're good?
I'm still not.
I think it's got to reset
Yeah.
because of what happened. That's weird. Don't like that. Hope it never happens to us again.
Probably just because this field.
Well, they said they thought they overloaded it, so then they unplugged, but if that were the case, it should have resolved itself. Okay. All right.
It should at least get 180.
Reset. Click on it and then reset it.
Yeah. There you go, I got one.
All right, technical difficulties, but we're back in business, which is a good thing. So, don't know quite where we left off, but we've gone through a half inning. So the Maroons all right. Did you get the text? Oops, I'll mute myself. Did you get the text sooner with the?
No, but I found an old one on my phone. It's the same as always, right? Number pad.
Number pads for the cameras.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all the same.
Okay.
I gotta go run and fix the far away one.
Okay. Let's put the inning up real quick.
Yeah. Is it anyone?
Yeah, we're fine. Bottom.
And then how many outs are there?
You're in the top of the second inning.
Still
I have no idea how many outs.
Alright, well,
One, I think.
B and M. Here, I'll do. No, that one's not working. Oh, there we go. One out. Alright, well, there you go. Okay. I'm gonna go run.
I think I can handle it from here now.
Okay.
We know what's going on. Okay. Yeah, as long as the power doesn't go out again, it'll be fine. All right, welcome back in. It's your Javi Godinez. Working at the plate here. Takes one. The Alumni, there's 45 of them. They have to overflow onto the field. It's pitch, fouled off. Douglas Malcolm, current Allegheny College pitcher, coming off the mound. Wind up, deliver, and Godinez gets underneath it. It's a little bit of good rep for, you know, some of these guys like Godinez and some of the youth to kind of go up against a little college pitching. Lindroth back here. Behind the plate. Wind up, throw, fouled off. Swing, miss. Big swing and a miss from Godinez, and down he goes. So with that, we take you in. Top of the second here from Austin High Baseball. Welcome back in. Top of the second, scoreless. But it is a little bit of family feud out here on the diamond.
It's a good thing we're past Thanksgiving and the holidays because that would be some brutal conversations depending on what happens.
Well, you know, it might be a fun conversation depending on how this goes.
And you know Jason wants to do nothing more than decay his uncle.
100%.
If Grable gets a base hit, Jason is never going to live this one down.
He will never hear the end of it at all. Swing, miss. So a little 1-1 here.
Good cut, 3-4, let's go.
Oh.
Fouls one off. And Martinez, lefty,
there you go.
catch him swinging. But now it's the reverse, right? Now Uncle's never going to let hear the end of
That's right.
his nephew, kind of, catching him and, catching him and swinging him over.
But at least Grable can say, hey, I'm an old man. You're young and in your prime.
Yeah.
So he has that as an excuse, which is legitimate. All right, now hitting for the Alumni is Tegan Mansfield. Played at University of Dallas.
It's this one down the third, and it will squeak its way through for a base hit. Out there and left, Mr. Alejandro.
Actually, I messed that up. That was Hunter Wilcox. This is
Okay.
Tegan Mansfield. My apologies, Hunter.
And Martinez come back over to first real quick.
So we had so many players sign up for the Alumni side, and the plan was always to let them use the old varsity jerseys. We had so many that we had to go to two different colors for the Alumni. So hence the mistake between Hunter Wilcox, and Tegan Mansfield. Both are number 3. Hunter is in gray, Tegan is in maroon.
This one upstairs. Good opportunity for us, though, to kind of get in, take a look at all the pitching. Everybody, I know we talked about, this is not a set in as this one into the outfield and lost his footing.
As Dice lost his footing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to get some workout in here. I mean, you can practice.
Sure.
And this is a scrimmage, and it's for fun and all that, but there's going to be some competitive juices.
Well, sure, and looking at it earlier, I mean, just being out there on the mound, you had Malcolm kind of opening things up against guys like Besa and Cadenas. Makes a huge difference. Is swing and a miss here?
This is Sailor Klein, class of 2019. Yeah, you had Douglas Malcolm on the mound. He's pitching at Allegheny College.
Yeah, so I mean, you get some of that college pitching in here. Some of these guys take that. Be pretty good for them. And guys like Besa and, Martinez, guys who you would expect to see on the final version of the roster. Because Malcolm's probably not going to take it too easy on him going out here.
No.
We talked about those competitive juices.
If you're a college pitcher and some high school kid gets a hit off of you, especially a knock, you're never going to live that one down.
Nope. Mr. Jarrett Cole coming up here, class of 23 and playing out at Oberlin.
He is the Renaissance man. Great baseball player, obviously. Great voice.
Yeah.
Great acting skills.
And drills this one.
It ate up Javi over there at second base.
Throw to home. Not quite in time, and a run scores. And the Alumni.
That's a tough hop over there for Javi. He shot one hopper, hit off his glove, and bounced over into short center.
Well, and there is a little bit of slickness I've seen here already because you have out there playing out here right field. Had one slip earlier this inning, and then Javi kind of lost his footing there as well.
This is actually Jack Donahue. Our roster says Weston Wiedemann. Wiedemann, unfortunately, had hurt his shoulder, I believe it was. Was unable to play, so Jack reached out, I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And wanted to play, so getting him in here.
A little substitution here. You know?
That's right.
Plenty of them to choose from, of course. Second meeting so far here for Contreras and Martinez. They'll step off.
You know, the big question on some game like this, especially in January, is how far can we go on both sides with pitching?
Right. Swing and a miss here.
Certainly nobody is stretched out, nor should they be in early January.
No. If they are, some questions. It's some concerns about longevity at that point. This one.
Ooh, that was another tough hop.
Yeah,
Javi misplayed that one.
And Javi's throw is in time, and they get the tag. Contreras gets a tag on Jared Cole, who was trying to make that final push and could not quite get there. So Javi misplays it, and yet still able to recover and make the throw.
Yeah. All right, looks like we have Jackson Linroth catching. He's currently playing at Dodge City Community College. And on the mound, we have number 4 from Lehigh, Graham Mueller. Both current active. So, you know, even the current college guys, I can't imagine they would throw more than about 15 to 20 pitches.
Right.
You know, maybe an inning. If they, you know, and these guys are smoking it right here. So this should be by far the best pitching Maroons see all year.
100%.
Right. Now we'll see how far it goes. But this is good for our guys. They need to see elite level pitching. Most of these guys want to play next level, so you might as well face it.
Well, and across all the levels, right? Because we talked about it. You know, some of these guys are not returning varsity players from last season. Some of them vying for a roster spot on that roster, you know, on that varsity roster coming in. JV guys last year. So this good opportunity for them to kind of first impressions, right? You know, in the conversation on a new season like that, you know, first impressions last. And so some of these JV guys coming out here, opportunity to kind of get that early step in or early edge, if you will, on the pole position for a roster spot.
Yeah, 100%. We have 4 sophomores on our roster today. Carter Hayden, Jimmy Bramble, Tommy Dominguez, and Dice. Charles Dice was a late ad yesterday.
Was a late ad, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a gun today, but I would guess that Graham looks to be throwing in the low 90s right now.
And me, my guess, I mean, it's coming. I mean, got the pop off the gloves. Kind of feels good to be back, though, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You know, just kind of, even if it's not quite, you know, official, outcome doesn't matter. Really
Logan
contact
Kinney
there.
Yeah, good job.
Made contact. Obviously, pops it over to third for the out, but
we got his bat head out in front of it.
Got out and made contact, so it's a plus.
We're going to have to work the count against Mueller here if we want to get him out of the game. No more one pitch, one out.
No. Mr. Jane Besa up. Besa, one of those, as he swings and misses here, going to be asked to do a lot this season, of course, playing at first. Going to see him in the outfield most likely on occasion. And then coming off the mound, can he take that next step and kind of fill a Jake Beck-sized hole coming off the mound here?
Yeah, with Pazanka and Beck gone and to graduation, we really are going to need 2 to 3 guys to step up and take the lead on the mound, and I think we've got some guys to do that. Ball outside. We have guys like you mentioned, Besa, Henry Shooter, who started the game, Jason Martinez just threw. Logan Kinney has done a great job off the mound in relief. He's good for an inning.
Yeah. Going to have a few of these guys. And, of course, again, like we mentioned, tryouts 2 weeks from yesterday. We'll see what else maybe kind of comes into the pipeline and what the pitching is now, what that pitching rotation may look like 2 weeks from now versus what it may look like by the time we start getting into the games and when they matter. Can totally change and would expect it to change. And
we haven't even talked about Fletcher Wilson yet, who led the team in wins last year.
Yeah. So we'll kind of see all of that. Besa pops this one. Fouled off.
I think the edge is going to go to the varsity team. Any pop-up or fly ball in the alley, if you can get it, some of these guys, I don't know that they're going to have the range that they once had.
They some of them may not have the knees that they once had either to pull that off.
Yep. It's going to be interesting this year to see what Javi Cruz and maybe Ty Schreiber do off the mound as well. Gage Pitt has a opportunity. This year should have an opportunity.
Well, and I mean, it's going to be interesting because you're looking at it across right now, right? You got 5, 6, 7 seniors right now just out here today. Again, this is, not a reflection of what the final roster will look like. This is more a reflection of the roster that's available.
Who is available to play.
Who's in town for,
Sure.
Holiday breaks maybe getting ready to be over, but some of them may not quite be back in town or what have you.
Oh.
And we got a hit by pitch. Take one on the hip.
Ty Schreiber took one right there on the gluteus maximus, and that's going to leave a mark.
Take one off the hip, sir.
Hey, but the varsity has our first base runner. There you go.
They get one on the base pads.
Now, Drew Anderson coming back had a heck of a football season this year.
Yeah.
Coming back, and, he's thinking, don't make it 2 in a row on the gluteus maximus thing. He's a tough guy being a football player, but you'd rather not take one there. Looks like that was
a misplay there at first. And look at that. Schreiber takes one on the glute, and then he gets a little bit of an error to go his way and scampers down to second.
Yeah, due to our unusual dimensions at our practice field here, we don't have a clear view of anything, or I don't, to the left of second base. Certainly can't see right field. So
I'm not in much better position.
No.
So, mildly better maybe. Is this one upstairs?
We're talking about the team coming back this year. That one's outside. Yeah. This is going to be the most experienced team Coach A has had yet.
Yeah.
We've got 10 lettermen coming back. That's by far the most that he's had. This will be his second official year at the helm. Third, he did hit him. Wow.
Anderson takes one kind of across the old breastplate there.
Yeah. Wish he had his shoulder pads on maybe at that point.
Maybe.
But it is the most experienced team that he's got, and hopefully that translate right into more victories.
Well, and it's one of those things we talked about a lot over the course of football season, seeing Drew Anderson out there, and it's one that is foul off here.
Ames Alejandro fouling it straight back.
But it's one of those conversations, we kind of had that conversation in the football season, right? That the idea that the voice is not quite as new as it may have been a couple seasons ago, that level of familiarity there makes such a huge difference, that they recognize the voice, they recognize, and especially now, 2 years under Coach A, understand what is asked of them coming into it. They're more prepared now than what they might have been, knowing what the message is, what the coaching is, and hopefully take with them what they picked up from experience from last year, and hopefully, like you said, it all translates.
Yeah, plus, having game experience. We play in probably the toughest district in America, at least one of the toughest.
Sure.
Nice curveball.
Sits Alejandro down and retires aside.
So, yeah, it's have that real game experience against, some of the top teams in the state. That should translate. We just need somebody to come in and on the mound and go get some outs and eat up some innings.
Be fun to see. We'll take a quick break and then be back top of the third when we return. Go get a burger?
No, I was trying to see if she could see first base. She can.
How does side jump?
Yeah, good. Sheps isn't much of anything, but this one's pretty good. I've been using this.
Center field camera?
Yeah.
Good.
Most of the pitches she takes.
Yeah.
Now if we can get replay set up, we can have replay of the behind the plate feed.
Yeah.
And then use that setup. We'll have to figure out. Probably going to be playing at burger or set up so that we can see what the replay is.
Like a pro front guy.
And what I do, you get another HDMI cord and run it. And the burger set up. Normally you get in the lab now. How are you? Then you set one on the side. You can just kind of turn and look down there and take a look at it. They work.
They all get at that. Yeah, there's I don't see that.
Back in. Start of the top of the third. The Alumni lead 2-0, and coming off the mound right now, Logan Kenny himself.
Leading him off with a hook. Way to go, Logan.
And behind the plate, catching, Jimmy Bramble. This one downstairs and outside.
And this is Patrick Pate from the class of 2015 in the box.
Another low one here from Kenny.
2-1 count. Got to say, I've lost track of the score.
2-0 right now, Alumni leading.
Is that right?
That's what we got sitting up here.
Okay.
So the
I
Alumni
thought it was worse, honestly. So that's good. That's good. It just seemed like we've had a lot of action.
Well, there was the one, Jarrett Cole might have scored and picked up a third, but, Javi's throw allows him to get tagged. This one down the line stays fair.
Yeah, it's fair. Oh, Patrick Pate got to go to second.
He rounded it, he's going to pull up short.
Oh, yeah.
Gets cut off there.
Listen, I don't know Patrick Pate that well. We may have had 20 minutes, but you can tell that kid, that guy, shouldn't say kid, that guy, he's a spark plug. So you better watch yourself. And now this guy, number 6, James Rodman from the class of 2013. I coached him in Little League when he was 11 and 12. As life turns around, he ends up coaching my son with me when he was 11. A great guy right here. Oh, and he calls time.
Just before Kenny can come off there. Kenny comes back with one down away. You know, we talk about kind of the conversation, first impressions, right? And part of it isn't as much from a first impression standpoint necessarily as much on coach as much as your pitching and catching relationship kind of gets off to a nice little early start here.
Sure.
Kind of get everybody from mound to plate in sync.
You know, Logan has that kind of face mask on as if it was -20 here.
You know, I was kind of sitting here and I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know, it's kind of like the...
I wonder if he's going for the Zorro look.
It kind of got the little kind of, I guess, ski mask almost kind of look that, you know, they like to wear.
The element of surprise.
You know, well, I'm just kind of like, you know, it's a little, I know it's windy. I wouldn't have quite pictured it being to that extent. There's a breeze. There is a little moisture in the air, but comfortable. Was worried when I got up and saw the cloud cover. Solid contact here. Throw to first. Turn two.
Boom.
They do.
Good job, Logan Kinney. Filled that ball, making a good throw over there to short. Nice job, buddy.
Makes a throw, and then Hayden Carter, rather. Oh, excuse me, I had it right the first time. Carter Hayden able to turn two. So 2 away. Something that Austin High did not quite have enough of last season.
That's true.
Something that they would certainly love to do more of is being able to turn two.
And this should be Alik Anchando. Played his college ball at Coastal Bend College.
This one downstairs.
In 2015, graduate.
This one popped. Getting underneath it, tracking it down. Got there.
Nice job.
Ames Alejandro retires aside. And brings us into the bottom half of the third. So, not a bad little showing on a little exhibition Saturday afternoon.
Not at all.
We'll take a quick break, see who the alumni send out next to work off the mound when we come back.
I know it.
The headset, yeah.
When I went up there, I was like, I'm the biggest thing I've ever. You almost have to if the catcher's wearing shorts.
Noah Renner.
I don't know if I should allow that.
Coming off the
I wanted to say feel brave enough to play.
It is Mr. Garrett Bowes, class of 16. Well, it is. Well, you have a conversation here. The umpire come over and say, you know. I don't know if I should allow that. Talking about some of the stuff they're doing out here. So
It's a scrimmage.
welcome everybody back in. Bottom of the third. Noah Remmert, class of 2016, coming working behind the plate here and working off the mound. Garrett Bowes, class of 16 as well. Played at collegiately at Coastal Bend. So some familiarity there. You got two class of 16 working with each other right now.
That's nice. Now, I did hear, not that I was scouting, but I did hear from the alumni earlier that they can't wait to get Travis Eckert up on the mound. Now, Travis, he played at Oregon State and in the Kansas City Royals org, and somebody said, I bet he can still hit 95.
You know, it's one of the best things about events like this, right, is some of the extra coaching some of your younger players are going to pick up from watching the alumni carry themselves, guys who played collegiately, and in some case, some of our alumni here today professionally, as well, and just kind of some of those little things that they kind of pick up. The stories, though, that are going to be told just kind of throughout, both in the alumni dugout and then from their families kind of around here. Just a fantastic atmosphere.
100%. Fletcher,
swing and miss.
Yeah, Fletcher Wilson stepping into the plate. He's a senior.
One of several out here this afternoon. And I'd say he came around here down 0-2.
It's a pretty darn good slider right there. Don't worry about that, Fletcher.
You probably won't see much of that during the regular season.
No.
But boy, if you can make contact with it, and that's the thing. Like some of these, like, hey, if you can make contact, it's got to be pretty confidence boosting going into pitchers who are not going to be this good.
Yeah.
Or this experience. That one sneaks that one past him, just drops it in over the top.
Yeah, it looked like that was a curve. So that first one Fletcher went after, that was looked like a fastball on the low outside corner, and it was a slider. Broke right out.
Got him to
Tough
chase, and then comes back, thinks it's maybe going to stay inside or high, and it drops down into the zone.
Here's Charlie Dice. With the control that Garrett is showing right here, he must still be playing somewhere. There's no way that he woke up after not playing ball in 5 or 6 years, coming out pinpointing like this.
Wakes up, comes out here, and just starts slinging it. All right? I mean, my gosh. Of course, that one down in the dirt there a little bit, so. Comes back here.
I mean, look at there.
Punch it in.
Yeah, Dice is like, what? Yeah, I know you're a sophomore, brother, but here you go. This is a grown man you're facing.
Yep. And a 2-2 count for him. Makes it 3-2. So really good job by Dice.
Yeah.
And on that, sitting there and seeing it pretty well. Coming out the hand, got a full count. I don't know, Dice, that you're going to find something that you really like.
Oh. Just inside. Maybe I jinxed Bose with that control comment.
Comes inside, sends Dice to first.
Well, we got Jimmy Bramble, sophomore, vying for a spot on varsity this year.
Bose, wind up.
Ooh.
Strike one.
It must have been paint in the corner.
We're not sitting directly behind home plate, so we don't have quite the view for it.
Remmert's setting up on the outside.
Bose steps off.
I think he saw that one. It's like,
he
you know
caught
what?
that out of the corner of his eye.
Let me see how much
wiggle room he's giving himself there. This one downstairs, a little bit too low. One thing notice about Bose likes to work you down and then come back over the top, drop that curve in over there and have it sink down. Comes back, another low one. Throw to second.
Safe.
Not quite in time.
Nice job over there by Dice.
Dice able to get down, beat the throw. Comes up with a nice steal a second.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Oh,
they're going to say he came around. Oh, look, this is something else that they could get used to a little bit. Of some of those on the edge and
true.
Some of the calls that don't necessarily go your way.
All right,
And
walks another one.
Walks another. Look, this is also a nice game here for umpires as well, for them to kind of get back in the swing of things here. Because you heard Bose come back and say, no, that should have been 3-2. Like that, he couldn't have been walked yet. And now they're having
I'm telling you, it's going to be competitive out here.
You're having the conversation like, wait, what?
This is Carter Hayden stepping in, sophomore. Ooh, chases that one. Probably shouldn't chase that one. He just walked a couple of guys. Come on, it's got to be right down the plate before you swing him that one.
Chase another.
You know, the seniors are actually coaching the varsity team today because Coach A is not doing that.
Yep.
So I wonder if they put in a little strategy and thought, you know, they're almost out of college pitching here. So if we can just wait them out, maybe we get some old-timers in here, and then that's when we come back and score.
There you go. There you go. This one got fouled off. Stays alive. 0-2. Bo's likely going to come after him and attack here with that.
Ooh,
got the chase.
Oh.
You got Dice caught in the base paths here. Oh, and he dropped it. Safe on the air.
That was Jacob Gass, I believe, that dropped that one.
Take a look here at our sheet here.
Yeah, it's Jacob Gass.
Dropped it on the chase down. Let's Dice to pick up third.
Yeah, Dice will Venmo him later. Thank you. Can't imagine the ripping he'd have got on that one.
Oh, shoot. And that allows Bramble, of course. Bramble takes advantage of the error there and advances down to second.
Hey, base hit scores too. Ties the game.
There you go. Strike one there. Currently at the plate right now, Mr. James Scott. The other Mr. James Scott,
That's
rather.
True.
Fouls off this one.
Threw him a good breaking ball. So quickly down 0-2. So if you're Sarge, you got to stay under control and don't chase anything low and away, which is probably what they were going to do. Yeah.
Goes low. Goes back 1-2. Bose with the 1-2.
Oh, he airmails it.
Calls that fair. 1-2 high.
Rembert airmails it down the line.
Dice and Bramble score. And on the airmailed throw from the plate to first, Sarge not only advances to first, but gets all the way down to second as well as Osby Contreras comes up to the plate now.
And we have a brand new ball game, right, Lulu? 2-2.
We got a tied game.
Lulu, our producer.
Got Shep and Tima on cameras. Two of the cameras, because you will notice that the angle that you are watching from, albeit unmanned, is currently 368, 86?
It's 338 to center, but we're probably another
off
30
center, so
feet behind it, yeah. So for those
you're
of
out
you,
in center field, right? So we'll put it that way.
Yeah, those of you who tune in and watch our games this year, we should be probably the only high school team that is going to have a center field camera for viewing. At least that's the plan. We are testing the range of it now, so we know we can do about 360, 370.
Yep.
There you go, Osby.
Contreras.
Ooh, foul ball. He
fouls that off. Ripped it, though, right down that first base line.
You got a good smack on that one. Sarge's got enough speed that if Osby gets it out in the outfield, you know who's ever coaching third going to be sending him home.
Yep.
How many outs do we have, by the way? Scoreboard's not working.
We have
two outs.
We have two outs.
We apparently have a short in the scoreboard here. Oh, going.
Sarge going anyway.
Oh, they threw him out.
Oh. It was close, but they get the call, and it goes away to the Alumni. So that retires a side, but tied game 2-all going into the top of the fourth. When we come back, the Alumni getting set and leading the way. Mr. Jake Beck gonna take the plate.
Jake Beck, one of our 2 main pitchers last year. He's pitching at Trinity this year. He's probably not going to throw off the mound today because he's just coming back from like a sprained or maybe a tired arm, something
he's got
like that.
Compression sleeve on that right arm. And throwing to him, though, on the mound is Fletcher Wilson, looking to maybe fill Mr. Jake Beck's shoes here.
I think we're going to all be looking a lot towards Fletcher Wilson this year.
We'll take a quick break for the Alumni and for Wilson and the catcher. I think Contreras is going to be coming out behind the plate. So we'll step aside. Step aside and grab a book. Grab on real quick and rejoin the barrage. You want me to pull it while you're going? I can do that. If you do, just hit this little button here.
Okay.
I'll unmute you. Once you come back
They aren't downloaded. Okay. No commercials yet.
All right, welcome back. Fletcher Wilson on the mound for the Maroons. Osby Contreras, his battery mate. Former teammate Jake Beck going to step in against Wilson here. Looks like we have Javi Godinez at third. Obviously, we're rotating a lot of players. It's Dice out in left field. Shortstop is Carter Hayden. Over at third or first base looks like Landon Shipper. And maybe second base, Dane Calvert, if I can get a good read on that number. So Beck steps in, leading off. What inning is it there, Lulu? Top of the fourth. Again, our scoreboard here at Maroons not working. Coach A is going to get on the microphone here and talk to us, huh? Sure, why not? All right, welcome in, Coach A.
Thanks for having me.
Oh.
It's off the knob.
So, talk to us, Coach A. Big year, your most experienced roster so far. You actually have 10 lettermen, if I counted right.
10, yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's a far cry from your first year as the interim coach. I think you had maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, looking at these guys, class of what, 22? Was it 22? Yeah, 22. Yeah, it was different, very different. We got a lot of returners this year, starting returners to add, and there's Beck, of course.
A pitcher is getting a base hit.
Like,
and it's not only a base hit, but a double. A double in the right field game.
District game, though, that won't happen.
Well, I don't know. It seemed like he had our leading batting average. Granted, it was a few at-bats last year. He hit like 500. He was like 1 for 2, 2 for 4,
hey,
something like that.
As long as he's hitting now.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we have Jackson Linroth stepping in, catching.
Good sequence for Fletch here.
Yep. I mean, look, it's got to mean a lot to these guys facing current college guys.
Yeah, they are older, they're stronger, they are wiser, mentally tougher, I would say. So it's a good test for our guys, 17-year-olds, even 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds, but
sure.
Good test for Fletcher here.
Oh, Jackson's ready to tee off. I mean, if you look at who we faced hitting-wise so far, They started with Douglas Malcolm, who's pitching at Allegheny College, then went to
Teagan. No, I'm sorry.
No, went to Mueller.
Mueller, yeah.
Yeah,
Graham
Mueller, and then just
which were the 1 and 2, I think, 21 class of 21.
Yeah,
22.
but they're both in college now.
Right. Yeah. No,
so, we were talking up here that these college pitchers, for them to let a high school hitter get a base hit, there's no way they're going to do it.
No,
even if it's a scrimmage, right? It's just a pride thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Fletch trying to beat him with the fastball. Will probably go off speed here. Yep.
Good pitch to run on. Oh, nice play there by Javi Godinez. I mean, just look at the size of Linroth versus when you had him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he was never light since I've been around, but he's just that much stronger and thicker. And he just teed one off to mid center field. Drew Anderson out in center field. Sack fly. So it makes it a 3-2 lead with Jake Beck scoring. Pitcher Jake Beck.
Jake, where was that? All last year.
All right, little smack talking from Coach A as well.
That's good. No, he's gotten bigger. The people don't think weights help, but they definitely help.
Yeah. And here's Garrett Bowes stepping in, 2016.
He was throwing knuckleball, right, earlier? What was that?
Looked to me like he had a pretty good slider. It looked like he had a curve and a slider plus his fastball is what it looked like to me.
30.
Yep. Talking about a dirty curve, that was it right there by Fletcher.
What's up, Lulu? Yep.
It was a good pitch.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about, you got to find people that can eat up innings now that Beck and Pazonka are, at the next level. Fletcher's got to be one of your key guys here, at least going into the season, right?
Yeah, he is. He will be. Biggest thing for, just coaching high school kids is their confidence has to be top notch. Good job, Dane.
Yeah, good play.
Turn on that quick. What class is he?
That was 2016, Garrett Bowes. He played at Coastal Bend College.
26. I was 15.
Jeez. Well, if you want to play that game, I was 46, so there you go. All right, this is Ricky Garcia. Ricky Garcia, one of the top 15 hitters in Austin High history, 126 years. Oh, and he grounds out to shortstop. So that makes a quick inning. You want to stay here and join David Roy?
Let's do it.
Coach, it's great having you here.
Thank you.
David Roy, welcome back in with Coach A. And, Coach, I know you got a myriad of hands to shake out here. And
I've just kept my head down for a few times, but it's a lot of people. There's more people I don't know. But, yeah, I'm glad they're all here.
We were having the conversation earlier about, especially with a lot of these varsity kids being out here and then having this plethora of experience on the other side, and all the stories that undoubtedly get to be shared, kind of throughout and during the course of that, and you got to think probably some of them too want to pass on some of those tips and tricks to some of these guys, especially current college, previous college, some of them out here, professional experience too.
Yeah, it's good to one. I like the intro we did earlier before the game because y'all are reading, their accolades, their records, schools they played for. So it shows these younger guys that it's definitely possible, and it come back, play one day against class of 2028, 29.
Contreras out here at the plate right now, and takes this one here. And so a lot of the conversation too that we had was a big part of this isn't the final roster, right? Tryouts still to come here in a couple weeks. But for a lot of these seniors, and for even some of those guys who were on JV last year, Contreras swing this year, it kind of how much information do you glean out of it? How much of some of those JV guys do they get a chance to kind of make another first impression, so to speak, in a situation like this?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's good to see them out here, especially with these older guys. It's more about their composure, see if they make an error, how do they react after that? And, are they intimidated? Are they, confident? I'm more looking at what they're doing, like within themselves.
The mental.
More than producing out here on the baseball field. That's more for the younger guys. Right?
Sure.
The older guys, like the returners, like the Osbys, like I want to see if they can turn on, a kid who's 21 years old, still pitching into college, seeing different pitches, more production from the older guys. But the younger guys is more mental stuff that I'm looking for, and see how they react to that.
3 tournaments open up the season. You have Sinton City kind of coming up here, and then, of course, the Leander, and then the Austin tournament. That opens up the season, I think, from looking at the schedule, a couple scrimmages a little bit maybe beforehand. Yeah. And then it's in full swing at that point, right?
Yeah, full swing. It's pop up infield. Oh, it's going to drop.
Oh, caught it. Snagged it. Chasing it down from behind the plate.
That's respect. I respect that. We're a lot different than last year. Last year we had a 9-team district. 9. We dropped 2 this year, so we got less games. We filled 4 of those games, which were the district, with 2 non-district games. So we're going to be 2 games short compared to last year. Okay. Which is good, though, because, a lot of baseball is great, but it can also, discourage some kids, or it could be too much for some kids. But what we want is quality over quantity, I think. After scrimmages, we get our tournaments going, and as opposed to last year, this year we don't get district until we're done with tournaments. Okay. Which is good. Last year we had district on Tuesday, and then we had a tournament on the weekend. Following week we had a district game, tournament. Good job, Javi. And then again, game Tuesday, district, tournament for those 3 weeks. So we played 18 games in 3 weeks, which is a lot. That's
quick turnaround too. I mean, especially trying to manage, health, keep everybody durable, pliable kind of throughout.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, is district is what really counts.
Right.
And that's what, whether we save our arms or not, or we see different guys at different games, but at the end of the day, it's about district, and that's where it really counts. We all know that.
District is what drives the bus, so to speak, right?
Yep.
And so you get the tournament zone.
Good job, Logan.
Logan Kenny drives this one straight away, right? Puts one down, but you kind of get those tournaments. Then it's almost kind of a test drive, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. On top of those scrimmages to kind of figure out the final pieces of this roster then, and where everybody kind of stacks up.
For sure. You can get really hot in tournaments, translate that into district, or you can slump and then take that into district. And it really Javi. It's a test for sure. And a chance to look at different people at different spots and switch lineups and see where people fit in the lineup and see their qualities and what they're good at, what their fortes are, and go from there.
Get an opportunity to kind of play with some of those different rotations, kind of figuring out chemistry from pitcher to catcher a little bit too, kind of getting to play with that a little bit here today as well. Is that nice hit there? Drops in. Cadenas.
Landon Shipper. That was so.
He slips off second base, and they call him out.
Run counts. That was great.
So, Coach A, we won't take too much more of your time, but we'll ask the big question before we let you get out of here, which is, you've seen Jake Beck out here, been able to kind of reconnect with him, right?
Yeah.
What does that look like now, though? Because you get so many different new faces that there's going to be a new feel to that bullpen then a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think last year we lied heavy on Beck and Pazanka, which, looking at it now, it could have been a lot of pressure for them. Maybe it wasn't. But now the team understands, we don't have those two guys where we can start on our Tuesday, Friday games, meaning everybody's got a job now. Whether you're going to come in first inning, come in third, come in relief, or be the setup guy, everybody has a job now, and I think that can carry over pretty well. Not relying on Beck to go 4 or 5 or Brazanka to go 4 or 5.
Right.
Now it's, maybe we go 3 pitchers per game or 4, as long as, we can get good innings, pitch to contact, have our defense play well. That is what we're going to look at this year, is use more guys if we have to, pull the lefties out of the bag and pull the righties and switch things up, and not rely on 2 guys to win games.
Saul Martinez getting work off the mound kind of early on here today, and didn't between him, Wilson, Besa, of course, kind of coming in, all of them kind of getting the work. Some of them maybe a little bit more familiar coming off the mound. Guys like Martinez, maybe not necessarily as familiar with it, comparatively, but
it's different. I think they see Beck and they're calling out his strikeouts in the 2 years, and they want to beat Jake Beck, but sometimes you don't need to beat Jake Beck to. You don't need to strike out this many people to win games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could be a contact pitcher, you could be, whatever it is. You got to find what you're good at.
Yeah.
And go from there. But,
Ty Schreiber on the mound right now, so another different one, right?
6, yeah. he's a guy we're gonna look at a lot this year. 4th year. So by the way, these guys who are seniors now. This is my 4th year here at Austin High. This is their 4th year. So this is my first graduating class.
Fouled off here?
As a coach here, so it's...
So these are all your guys. They know your voice in the locker room. They're kind of, they know the message.
They know how much it means to me. I know how much it means to them. So we're going to feed off of each other a lot this year.
How much of that then kind of plays into that, you leaning on these seniors, that veteran leadership? Because a lot of them, too, like you said, 4-year guys, and a lot of them seen a lot of baseball, 3 different years, some of them maybe even 4 going into it. How much of that you as a coach kind of lean on then in that leadership in that locker room and in the dugout there?
It's different. I wouldn't say. Let me rephrase that.
Slips past
on right field. Yep. The way these 4 years have been for these guys has been it's been a roller coaster, with the transition and the interim and the taking over and doing so many new things. I would say this is the best year that we could have as far as leadership goes, senior-wise, with, them knowing me for 4 years.
Right.
Not knowing somebody else. But, yeah, we're gonna try to lean on them a lot this year for the seniors.
Be those leaders and pressure on. That was, by the way, Justin Berry who gets on, and he is at second. Schreiber working off the mound here a little bit. Now, some of these guys, looking at the roster, some of them playing 3 different positions, and some of that, it's not even set in stone, right? And some of that's, they may play, 4 positions. They may get cut down and only play 2.
Yeah. It's a good thing about having tournaments and scrimmages. You find out where they feel most comfortable, where they can produce for you more. And, this roster for today is not set in stone. and to be honest, our varsity roster won't ever be set in
Right.
stone all year, really, because, maybe we need a guy up or we need a guy to get reps down on JV or whatever it is.
Injuries, of course, kind of play into that a little
Yeah.
bit, some of that, too, that you're going to see. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of part of that in that evaluation stage, right? And how much of that then, too, is part of that evaluation is pitcher to catcher relationship and how you kind of evaluate who to stack with who then in that capacity, right? You put, Parabesa with a Contreras compared to a Jimmy Bramble or, whoever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very tricky. Some pitchers feel comfortable with different catchers. But, sometimes an injury will happen, and you know what? You won't be able to get James or you won't be able to get Osby, and you're still going to have to go out there and throw strikes. So, yes, pitchers, in that sense are super, picky and stuff. And, it's because I'm not –
a little superstitious, right?
Yeah, and I get it. And it's baseball. But at the end of the day, man, you're trying to throw strikes.
Especially in a game like this where you got guys in college that, they want to own one on them. Yeah. Or in the case of Jason Martinez, I want to own my uncle.
Yeah, that was a good little moment to watch. Martinez striking out his uncle. and watching that, I hope people come back again next year. Hopefully we're all here again next year to do this again because that's special.
Yeah,
the community's big here.
We were talking about just the conversation. I mean, a combined out here, 4 different decades out here on the field together, all in kind of one melting pot. And, we were talking about it. All the stories, not just in that dugout that span those decades, but then the families that are out here too is a part of that, and where all that spans. This is such a unique atmosphere that James was talking about it. The conversation before this game was, hope to have 12. You got 45 plus a couple more that added on a little bit late. And
I feel like people are very, timid, like, oh, who's going to show up? And then, oh, wait, you're going? And, yeah, I'll go too. And then they tell them, their friends. And, it's good to have the community here. It's good that we get to see them before they go back to college. Kind of, revisit their high school and meet the new guys and stuff like that. It's good. It's fun.
Well, kind of like you mentioned before too, a little bit for these guys, who are coming up. Some of me and the JV guys a little bit out here today because, like we said, this is not it's not a final roster. It's the roster of who was in town and who was available here for it today. But then to kind of come out and, like we said, to hear the records and the accolades that get read off, kind of a bar to reach, right? And a bar that is set and things to aim for. Some of them maybe, hey, I want to be first team with that guy, like him, or some of them maybe want to try for something a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's great to hear all those things, but, you could read all their records, but if you shake their hand and you have a conversation with them, why they got all these records.
Yeah.
And that's, special to have and to be a part of is, they were
bounce pass Schreiber, bounce pass.
Eat it. That's what a small ball will do to a baseball team. And I'm serious. Look at the Yankees.
I'm coaching it right now, right? Still too, right? And they come right over.
But you have a conversation with these guys, and you're like, I get why, we had that guy play at Baylor for 4 years, and why he was a 4-year letterman is because he's a great guy, and good things happen to good people, and if you work hard, you set your mind to something, it'll happen. And sometimes it's hard as a 15-year-old to think about those things at this young of an age and stuff like that. And hello, Nuncio, man. The base hit. Son plays here. He's a sophomore. Yeah. Nicholas Nuncio.
Hear it from the family too.
That's funny, but this is great. It's fun. And then all the heckling too.
Well, and you're gonna have, we were talking about it, competitive juices are gonna get flowing. These guys are still competitors, even no matter how long it's been. And for them, the ability to come back out and pick up a glove for some of them, they just picked up, maybe a couple of months ago working out, for the college or whatever. Some of them, it may have been 20 years or if not more since they've picked up a glove or stepped foot out here and what have you. And so for them, kind of, a little bit of ability to come out and do that. And then varsity guys, maybe want to put some of these old heads to bed a little bit with it, right?
Yeah, it's funny because, they think, oh, these dudes are like old heads and they're 30-some and they're 40. But no, these are men. You're playing men.
Yeah. And they let you know it sometimes, too, a little bit. Yeah. Some of them got that a little bit competitiveness that they'll chirp at you a little bit as they come off. And chop down to third. Retires the side. So, Coach A, look forward to the rest of the season. We won't. I know you probably have more hands around here to shake, and where guys, guys are coaching, or either that, or you're wearing the headset to hide from it. Maybe that's what it is.
Exactly. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah. I've said hi to a lot of people. They know that I'm here to serve them and their kids, and I love their kids, and they're great people. The community here is awesome. We have these booster meetings, and all the head coaches get together, and admin, and we just talk about how supportive this community is. If you need something, they will give it to you. They will always ask, hey, what do you need? What can we help you with? With all the sponsors, the boosters, donations. Big shout out to them. Terrytown, Oak Hill, Sunset, Teesside, Central, wherever y'all live, and you guys come here at Austin. It's great. We're blessed. We're blessed with this community and the school and our leadership. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited, and this is awesome.
Yeah. Well, Coach A, we won't take too much more of your time, but I will ask you real quick just before you go. What is it that you're maybe most looking forward to about this season then?
I'm gonna be a little biased here, is seeing these seniors finish out their career.
Those guys have known you all those 4 years.
It's going to be special. It's going to be special for sure.
Well, hopefully the season will be as special as well, and we're looking forward to it. We're excited for it. We had the conversation that it was crazy. Thinking October, I was already having to talk about, we got prepped for baseball and everything else, and here we are, first weekend in January, and gloves come on and bats start cracking.
Yeah, and there's a ton of things, I'm looking forward to, but that, having these kids graduate finally and trying to show the younger guys, what it's about, and, with the new coach and the new program and the new things we're trying to build and set here as a program, they're part of, history to come, and they're seeing it right now today.
I was say the history is here with them, and they kind of get a chance to kind of see that this is the part that they are a part of. All these alumni who have come out.
It's bigger than baseball. So bigger than baseball, but
that's a big part of it. We're excited for it. We're happy to have you, and Coach A, like I said, we'll thank you for the time, and we'll let you run off, or you can stick around and wear the headset. We don't care.
I'm gonna watch Jason Martinez get up to bat here.
He's gonna come up to bat. Jason Martinez, he will work against, by the way, Patrick Pate, class of 2015, working off the mound right here. So Martinez, first one go outside, ball one. Pate's competitor 2, and Martinez check swing. Gets ahead in the count 2-0. Takes strike there. Coach Martinez was somebody that kind of came on pretty strong last year down the stretch with somebody you talk about having to call up guys and lean on guys.
Yeah.
With somebody that kind of showed up. I remember that Westlake game that we're out there and just coming out of nowhere and fielding them, stealing some runs off Westlake there a little bit.
Yeah, Jason's a guy who can fit pretty much anywhere in the outfield, can play some first base, very speedy, sneaky fast, and shifty. So he's a guy that, you can score a lot of runs with and score these guys in.
You speak about him, I mean, taking first, takes it there on the walk, so there you go.
Oh, yeah, by stealing a gun there. There he is. Dane Calvert Jr.
Spins out of the way of one here. Pate. Calvert comes around, gets that one called here. Strike one. So a 1-1 count for him.
Martinez.
There he goes. Takes off and pulls it off. Errant throw, but
Who's 5 maroon right now?
5 maroon right now. It is not Weedman.
Oh, not Weedman, but he's
It's
before Weedman.
yeah, it's Donahue. I think it's who's out there in his stead.
Is it? Yeah.
The replacement.
Yes.
The last minute replacement. The story that Weedman, hurt his shoulder, couldn't be out here. And so Donahue shows up kind of last minute. Substitution fills in for him.
Yeah, Dane's going to be a guy where we're going to look at, to see what spot he can fill, his production, junior football player too, or played football.
Pate steps off.
Got Shooter on deck.
Shooter, another one of those that kind of leaned on a little bit, kind of last season a little bit too, kind of stepping in and pitching a little bit, and, kind of having to fill in, and so.
Yeah, Shooter's the guy you do not want to miss a spot with, and he'll take you deep if you miss your spot. So, gonna lean a lot on him this year again.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about it, a lot of these guys that just, some of them kind of popping in as they need to a little bit, right? And some of them it's timing, right? But the play just kind of elevates. We just talked about with Martinez, that kind of comes on strong there, backstretch of the season, and then, Shooter certainly had his moments. Logan Kenny had his moments. Remember the tournament? He steps up big, and a lot of those tournament plays that we saw last season. And
yeah, all you need is one hit, one great play, and you go from there. Watch Shooter.
I gotta say, you're still coaching here too, right? You see Martinez come around and pointing to him like, "Come for home, man. What are you doing?"
Why not? You got the anytime home run on Shooter today? You got that parlay? That's exactly what Dane Calvert is. He's sneaky like that, and
hey, so I'm just kind
knows
of
the game a little bit. Just takes that base, knowing we got Jameson at third.
Swing and miss from Shooter there. You talked about that anytime home run, though. See it there, man. It's swinging for it. Here's Pate.
Oh.
Just off that outside corner.
Patrick Bird. The boot.
Skips off the turf. Dings a car. Shooter goes out looking.
Bad call. That was a bad call.
We had the conversation. It's exhibition. The umpires have to kind of get back in the swing of things a little bit too.
Yeah, they've been on break too.
It's one thing that maybe some of us don't necessarily quite think about. That they gotta.
Yeah.
We're talking about the players to get back in the swing of things. They gotta kind of get back into the swing of it too.
Yeah, when it's a call like that, the pitcher knows too, and the whole crowd knows. Like, all right.
Got away with one.
Yeah. A little help.
Drew Anderson.
It's all you.
Which isn't quite totally accurate. I did show him how to hit the mute button before I walked away to get a burger. Whether or not he's remembered that in the time since I stepped away is a different story. Got Anderson at the plate here. Anderson, of course, coming off the football season where he did pretty well. And
yeah, we got
come back out.
Martinez, we got Drew, we got Patty B, we got James. Patty B broke his leg. Vandergrift game playoff. But we're hoping for a good fight right there, Drew. Hoping for a speedy recovery from Patrick.
Yeah. Get him back. Probably kind of like, I would think, maybe a little bit kind of like John last season, right?
Yeah.
Kind of get him reinserted a little bit later and just kind of working back into it.
Yeah. Oh.
Down goes Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah, John's a dude who, played 2 sports for 4 years. Well, till now, really. But he, injuries hurt him, and he gave football his all. And as long as you are giving something your all.
Nice hit there from Alejandro. Brings Martinez across. So the run will score.
Should be tied up. I don't know.
Lulu, what do you got?
We're doing scoreboard.
You got 3-5?
We're up. They're up, right? Wait, so okay, now it's 4-5. There we go. 5-4.
Alumni have a 1-run lead. We had the conversation. I'm like, had the conversation. James like, how long do you think they'll end up going? The response was, we'll just go until we decide we're done.
Yeah, we got enough money for umpires, right, for 5 hours? No, what's good is, John Carter, who's the head of Austin chapter, he hooked us up with the crew to help get them practice and allowed us to play, several innings. Okay, you're getting at me now. Okay, yeah. Do they have John Lee thumbs? I'll tell him.
Dice out here. Dice gets walked.
Charles Dice, another football guy. Got Hayden Carter up. He's a sophomore. Football guy as well. Stopped playing last year. Going all baseball this year. Strong kid. Fast. Looking to see good things from him.
Dice was maybe hoping that the umpires still weren't quite back into things and he'd get away with one there a little bit. Down low, ball.
Finally got some sun in 3 days, pretty much.
Weren't sure too well, and I got concerned getting up this morning, saw the clouds and everything. I'm like, man, I hope this doesn't get rained out or anything.
No,
I know it wasn't supposed to. I'm like, ooh.
I would have cried if it did. Because the amount of work, the coaches and I put this in for this game specifically.
Yeah,
has been pretty crazy. The winterize stuff going in and.
Safe. And the tying run. Tied now at 5, right, Lulu?
Yeah.
Tied all at 5.
Gonna rotate. Yeah, I think it's we agree to doing 3 runs an inning and then rotating. So
Okay.
speed the game up a little bit.
So they will rotate out now then, it looks like. You're good. You can take it off. There you go. Yeah, you're muted. You're good. There you go.
No, we agreed. Like if they score more than 4, they just can't get the out. Oh, is that right? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, because we'll probably be here for like 45 minutes.
Not wanting to stay too long, right? And have it drag on or anything.
The arm's getting cold. Well, thanks for having me out here.
Yeah, no, Coach, hey,
Step
appreciate
out,
having
shake some
you
hands.
step in. I was going to say, you got, you do still have to run the actual base part of it, but we enjoyed having you on and everything else.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Yes, sir.
So
super excited. Thanks for all for coming out. Lulu Corn out here helping us out, helping Vipe out, and all the other students. But thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate having you, and we look forward to it. We're excited.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you. That's Coach A up here in the booth with us. We'll take a quick break, and then we will be back when we return. Coming off the mound, Carter Hayden getting a little work when we come back.
Everything else ran along smoothly? It's just shots that's having problems, right?
Just both cameras ran out of battery the exact same time.
The actual camera or the...
The receiver transfer.
How long have you been going?
5-5. I don't know. I know it's bottom of the 5th right now. Or, yeah. No, we switched. So it's top of 6th.
What's that? Is it a tag game? Do you know the score? Yeah, it's 5-5.
Hard to see.
We're trying to figure out what the game is. Yeah, 5-5. Tag game. Sweet. Awesome. 2:46. So we started at 12:40. So we're going about 2 hours.
Yeah, I do have to leave 4:30 because I have work at 5.
Okay, that's fine. Short. That's no, you're saying the transmitter is what ran out of power, right?
Yeah, I mean, the
Not the
battery
camera.
the camera battery also only had 30 minutes on, so we switched it up too.
Did we bring back none?
Yeah, everything's back. I'm charging the camera battery, so we just switched.
Okay.
Oh, everything's back here.
And the transmitter and everything is okay? We're still getting image from...
Yep.
Oh.
This has been happening, which is from Chef's camera, which is weird, but... And they're not paying attention right now, but usually...
Heads up!
Also, I don't know water.
Okay. This chef is still being kind of glitchy. I wonder if we're getting interference. Where she's set up, there's kind of like these metal poles far away. I wonder if it's causing
I
interference.
mean, it's been pretty smooth. It's just, you can't see a lot with this shot, so I haven't been using it.
Oh, has it been glitchy? It's just I thought one of them was being glitchy.
This one sometimes, but I flipped the transmitter like an hour ago, and it's been pretty fine since. I said, Chef has like a friend over there, and I said, one of you just go switch out the thing, and they like zoomed it back out. So, doesn't, I thought I was walking up and I was like, let me tell them not to touch anything else.
Heads up!
Play-by-play right now.
Not right now. No. I know, right? Oh, which one are you? It's fine. We'll play switcheroo. Yes, muted. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I just finished up my chips there, so we're good there.
Welcome back. We had Coach A on. We got a tight ball game, by the way. We haven't really been talking about the game itself. Having conversation. Had Coach A on for a while bit there, and good conversation.
Well, I think what's happening is The Alumni are running out of pitching right now. Now, I haven't seen Pizanka throw, and I haven't seen Travis Eckert. But that's kind of what I'm thinking happened. And I just got word from Coach that number 6 is actually Hayden Carter.
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute. You have it as Carter Hayden.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I get that mixed up. I'm like, well, sort of.
Sort of important.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. Oh.
You're going to miss an error.
Yeah.
We were talking too. I thought Eckert pitched earlier. I thought I saw Eckert pitch earlier. I believe he did.
Did he?
I believe
Number
I saw
23?
Yes, sir.
Right.
I believe I saw him.
Well, I must have missed that.
So I think who I've not seen, though, on the mound, and I might have missed him, is Beck and Pizanka. I think are the two we have not seen.
So,
and I know we said we won't see Beck. He
Yep.
had the arm injury, but and we will not. We may yet still see Pizanka, though. Or we should.
Most likely. With 45 guys, it's tough to.
You got pretty deep, roster
Yeah.
there a little bit. I mean, somebody can throw.
Yeah.
And the conversation, kind of good, conversation. Coach A being able to lean on some of the senior veteranship. Now, he said he'd been here 4 years.
This is his fourth.
This is his fourth.
Yeah,
correct.
because when the seniors were freshmen, he was the freshman baseball coach.
Yep.
Then he took over in 23 as an interim varsity coach, then last year, and then this year.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is his fourth.
So, these seniors kind of been under him since he got started, and so kind of
they've grown up together.
Yeah,
basically.
well, yeah, and I mean, kind of the same conversation we had on the football side of things, right? And Coach,
Sure.
saying that, these are all my guys now. His voice, and kind of the same way with this senior class, that these are his guys, and had that. Of course, had the conversation. Coach A, had to hide out here a little bit. Got tired, shaking them hands a little bit, right? And but no, I mean, have fun up here, and man, that sun can't decide if it wants to stay out or not.
I'm just glad it's not 45 degrees.
I know, right? Yeah. First weekend of January, you wouldn't think it would be quite this nice. But
which begs the question, why did we have it here? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people ask that question, why this time? And the answer to that question is we have current college guys that have got to get back and play. Ooh, Pizanka lined that one.
Pizanka driving this out and feeling that cleanly.
Yeah, so when we started putting this together, I reached out to the most recent graduates thinking they would be – to see if there's any interest, really.
Sure.
And then those that were playing in college, we had to lock in on a date. Like, when are you guys have to be back at college for this, spring semester?
Sure.
So we locked in on basically it was this weekend was the only opportunity that we had. So that's how it got started, and then, the rest of the alumni filled in as needed. And again, it was such a blessing to have 45 guys or so come to and choose to spend their Saturday afternoon out here.
And like I said, talking to Coach A loving this out here, and this opportunity to, as we talked about, in the conversation of these guys kind of get to see the history that not only has come before them, and for some of them, maybe some bars that they're aiming to hit, right? Some of the accolades we read off, and I want to do that, or I want to break that, or what have you. But then the conversation of getting to kind of meet that history and kind of be a part of it, and get to kind of see it, all right?
Sure.
And that aspect, like we said, they're going to be chirping, but they're also probably, after it's all said and done, talking them up and things like that, and Coach A's conversation. But when you go and talk to them, you can see why they got those accolades, right? And the conversation of good things happening, good people, and then for a lot of these kids kind of being out here and kind of an opportunity for them to kind of feel maybe justified, right, a little bit, or that reaffirmation, and to kind of just keep going on.
Keep going on as Mateo Del Riego steps in.
Takes a strike.
Mateo, great player for us. His senior year, he suffered from a hamstring problem, pulled hamstring for about a month. He really would have been the difference in several more games and victories
Sure.
there. He did a heck of a job coming off the mound. I didn't know he could pitch. I always thought he was more of an infielder, but, man, he came in, had a 2.16 ERA his senior season, and just did a fantastic job. And lines one down to right field.
Drives this one.
Hey, going for two.
1-2.
Out. Oh, should have stayed at one, and that cost him the inning. But good hustle.
Good
as
hustle.
always,
Yeah.
by Mateo.
Yeah.
Broadcast.
So they scored a run on that last one?
Yeah.
On that last thing? Okay.
I mean, I saw them run over the base.
Oh. No, if that's cool. All right. Well, there you go. You got it. Yeah. Well, joining us, so we have everybody floating around. Everybody, see, we bring out the headsets, and normally most people don't want to come over and talk to us otherwise. But then you break out the headsets, and everybody wants to come be a part of it. We had Coach A on, and now we have the lumberjack on, Mr. Jack Underhagen. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
It's great to be back. Go ahead.
6'5", Alumni League. That's the other thing. Without the scoreboard really working, we are now the impromptu scorekeepers of it all, right? And so everybody comes to see us, and Jack here with us, and
It's
able
super cool.
to come back and be around. What's it been like, man, sitting in that dugout with? I mean, you got 4 decades of experience sitting in there.
It's like the energy is all there, like it spans across 4 decades, right? But like we're all getting along. We don't know each other's names, but I mean the energy's there. We're all happy to be back. I mean this is such a unique opportunity to be back, and everyone's loving it.
Sharing stories, no doubt, too. Some of those stories you're probably hearing over
man,
there.
Crazy.
So, from times past and times more recent, in your case, here last season and all that you guys accomplished there with Mr. Jake Beck, Luke Pizanka, of course, me and the other two joining you out here from your class here today. You got to see, though, some of maybe the young blood a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
The guys coming in behind
all
you,
class of 2024, 2023 guys are all messing with the other team because we know them.
Yeah.
All the other dudes think we're just being mean, but we actually know the other dudes.
Chirping at them a little bit, right? And so, what's that conversation kind of been like? Some of these guys you haven't seen in, probably 6 months, 7 months, a year even, maybe for some of them.
I mean, I don't think there's been a nice word said, but but
well, maybe not yet, right?
It's all love.
Sure.
It's all out of love because, I mean, these guys are working just as hard as us, to make this team the best it can be. From experience last year, we know their commitment. We know they're committed to this game.
Sure.
There's that connection that's always going to be there.
Ty Shriver right now at the plate. Working here. Takes another ball here. Now, kind of going through and seeing some of them, obviously JV guys, that, as we had the conversation, it's not a final varsity roster as much as it's a roster of who's available, right? But some of those guys that you've seen, right, that next group up of seniors, and, we got 7 of them out here today, right? I mean, have you had a chance to really kind of sit down with them and talk with them?
We have, connections. We've been talking with them, through social media and stuff. But, every year it's 1-2 guys are going to have to step up and lead this team, because we had the guys last year, step up, lead it, kind of set the example. And, obviously we're gone. So I'm real excited to see who emerges as that guy who leads by example, You
had Coach A, kind of talk about, we had him on in the conversation that, this group of seniors at least has been around him now for all 4 years, right? And that they have that sense of familiarity. They have that air with that. How important is that?
Oh, man, like man, like last year was great with Coach A, but the connection with these guys and Coach A, I mean, this is his debut team, you know?
Right.
Like they started with him on the freshman team when he, you know, got hired for the freshman coach, and they've been on his team every single year. I feel like the chemistry, at least between them and the coach, is going to be just on another level because, you know, it's not, you know, your classic old coach to your young players. It's like he's young. He knows, you know, the stuff we're into and stuff. So the connection's definitely going to be so great this year. Ooh.
Schreiber lifts this one out.
Javier.
Short left, and it is snagged.
Javier, 1 for 3.
Excuse me, Godinez. Rather, Schreiber was already on. Look, some of us are still having to get back into form a little bit too. Schreiber takes off.
He's out. Ooh, try to steal a base from him.
Try to get away with one.
That's one thing you can't beat is the IQ of the old guys. They know the game.
We had the conversation, right? Everybody's kind of having to get back into the swing of things a little bit here. Some of the umpires, you know, they're still getting into it a little bit too, right? People who are not necessarily having to get into it a little bit, you know. Beck certainly still kind of coming in. Of course, you know, out here ripped one, you know, doesn't look like, you know, didn't need much warming up, right? But, you know, some of that conversation, the production that you brought to the table, or Jake Beck and Luke Pizanka brought to the table, it's got to have to be replaced a little bit in some capacity. And, you know, had the conversation with Coach Abe that as Contreras
out of here.
Fouls that one off. But, you know, you don't have the Beck or the Pizanka, more than likely. And if you do, they haven't, you know, emerged yet, and we'll still see yet.
Right.
But you know, have that guy on the, you know, in the bullpen that can take you the 5 innings and just be durable out there that way.
Yeah, like that's, you know, that's how teams work. Yeah, I don't think you ever replace the guys before.
Sure.
You become a whole new team. You know, you know, Jake was our, you know, hot throwing guy, you know, but no one's, you know, able to replicate that perfectly. But, you know, 2 or 3 guys step up, you know, can create their own sort of stereotype, what they want to do with this team.
But everybody wants to be a Jake Beck.
Of course. Right? I mean,
everybody wants to be a lumberjack, right? And just cranking them, right? So, you know, but
at the end of the day, you just got to stick to your game, you know, just do your own thing. That's what really impressed with Osby here, man. He came in here last year as a sophomore, kind of split 50-50 catching with Sarge here. And, you know, they ended up both, you know, being some of the best hitters on the team. Osby, without a doubt, fair ball.
Yeah, he rips that one.
Osby, without a doubt. Oh, he's trying to steal second, and he does. He might go
there.
to third. There he goes. He is winded right now. Get that guy some oxygen.
When we had the conversation, you know, guys like you talk about Osby, who kind of steps in as a sophomore in a little bit.
Yep.
Jason Martinez, kind of another one of those guys, kind of cropped in last season and just, you know, kind of hit his stride really kind of midway through the season and just kind of took it and ran with it.
Yeah, you know, as a younger guy on varsity, it's it's more about your momentum than anything, because I mean, you're kind of afraid of losing that spot. You're like, okay, I have a chance. So the pressure's that much more on a younger guy. And the fact that Osby was able to, I mean, I was talking with him last year about it. That was he was nervous. And I'm like, hey, you know, you just got to calm down. And he did, and he took it and ran, man.
Yeah.
And without a doubt, next year, Osby's running this team. He's a natural-born leader, and he knows how to lead by example. He puts that work in for sure.
Base up here right now. Of course, you saw Jason Martinez pitch earlier to you know, I mean, you see that a little bit in practice last year, did you?
Yeah, he was usually in the outfield.
Okay.
But I remember him hitting real well and, you know, subbing in pitching when we needed him. But if I had to pick a dude last year that was going to be, like, great, it would be Henry Shooter.
Yeah.
He's, you know, soft-spoken guy. He's but like he's very talented at what he does. He's a great pitcher. I mean, in fall ball, he hit one over the fence. You know, he's just got to pick up that whole confidence part, and he's gonna be as good as well. Grounder to first base, and he'll be out.
But run from third scores.
There you go. Oh, that's 3 outs.
Oh, no, there'll be 3 outs. Okay.
All right.
See, that's what happens when we're not, totally paying attention. We're having better
Right.
conversation, dialogue over here. Now, you talk about, Shooter.
Mm-hmm.
We also talk about, Fletcher coming in there too,
True.
man. I mean,
Yeah.
Fletcher had some moments last year too,
Fletcher
right? I mean, crazy.
is Mr. Underrated, in my opinion. You take a look at Fletcher, and you're like, all right, we're about to hit off this dude. And then he brings, he's like 89, freaking zooms it in there, and then gets you with that slow changeup. I mean, he struck me out 4 or 5 times last year. That dude's a dog. He's going to be one of, if not the ace of this team this year.
Yeah.
Javier's Mr. Do-It-All right here.
Yeah, I was going to say, he coming up here, and he's doing a little pitching right now, kind of working our way back around to him and Contreras out here. Now, it's hard to keep track, right? Now, who all have you gone up against pitching-wise just today?
Today I was going up, I can't remember his name. He's a sophomore, I believe. Let's see here. He's a younger guy. I remember him freshman last year. I never really talked to him. But, Coach A has made it his staple that we're one team no matter what team you're on.
Sure.
And
no better day to,
right.
prove that point and accentuate that point than a day like today.
Totally. Because, everyone talked to everyone. It wasn't freshmen, go pick up the balls, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Coach A made it his thing. Everyone's on a team. We're all one Austin High, team. I want to say it might have been Hayden Carter.
Yeah, probably Hayden Carter then there that you had go
nice little curveball on him. Man, I knew he was throwing me out. I'm like, shoot, I'm not going to see anything inside.
Got you with one.
Oh,
right?
yeah, man. I got down 0-2. I'm like, I'm not striking that today.
Well, because they'll never let you hear the end of it if you do that, right?
I'll never be able to show my face again.
You got all that chirping, right?
Yeah, you got to back it up.
Martinez and his uncle going at it a little bit, right? I mean,
I was talking to his uncle at Pluggers the other day. We saw each other. He was like, "Yeah, I've been in the cages a little bit." It's like,
so he did a little practice,
oh,
right?
he was ready, but Jason was just a little more prepared there. But
got him. We had that conversation. I mean, it's it's one of those. Maybe it's a good thing that we had this game now after the holidays and before going into Thanksgiving dinner. Never going to hear the end of it.
We dribble it back to Javi. Toss to first. We got Jason playing first.
Yeah, got Jason out there at first. Of course, everybody kind of floating
Shuffles
around and kind of having to. One side has 45, the other does not quite, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to, shuffle it around a little bit, and, kind of get some of that. Of course, tryouts coming up in a couple weeks and everything else. But, kind of looking back on it, last couple seasons here had a lot, not just with this current senior class, guys in your senior class, right? With Beck and Pizanka, and then of course those guys that came a little bit ahead of you that able to maybe reconnect with a little bit here today and being out here. And, what were some of your maybe fondest memories that
Well,
FCC safe, okay? It's still on the radio, it's still broadcast, right? Okay, but keep it FCC safe.
Keep it on the baseball.
But over the course of time and those seasons, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you ask any of these guys, 9 out of 10, it's going to be the tournament, first tournament of the year where you go. I mean, we went to Laredo, and then we stayed overnight in hotels. You get to, stay with your best friends. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. You go play baseball one day, go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
So great. And then you got your, arguably the best times are when you put together your own practices. Because not only are you having, so much fun just practicing with your friends, but you share that want to get better.
Right.
And that just intrinsically comes with just great memories being had. Like coming out here, throwing live ABs, putting the pocket radar on, just stuff like that.
And you got Cunningham coming up here. Mr. All Big 12.
Mm-hmm. Crazy, man. He gets he went to the same school as me.
You know, he got all the gear on and
studying this guy's swing. Seriously.
Well, we had the conversation, right? Coach A was up here. He had a headset on, and it's like, you know, and he's sitting here. Martinez gets down to third, and he points a home plate. Like, what are you doing? Keep going. I'm like, and I'm like, you put the headset on, and still coaching sitting over here. Like, you know, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, but the amount of, I mean, like, I grew up with guys that are here, they're kids, you know?
Yeah.
Playing ball with them. Like, one of them was down the street. Like, I knew a couple guys on the Austin High Maroon team that won the state championship.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the Austin High has some of the, I don't know what to, like, the fondest connections with all the people.
Sure.
And there's so many spread wide. It's really just a melting pot here.
I mean, you got guys out here. Cunningham is, you know, like we said, all Big 12, and a couple guys got out here. Of course, you know, you probably went, you know, and talked to them, which is, you know, guys who had professional experience, right? They went to that next level, right? Guys, you know, had stints with the Twins and the Royals and things like that. You could kind of, you know, be out here, and not only they came from that same place that you did, but now you kind of have that. I mean, in all, you know, it's true for all of them, right? That you kind of have that you get to come back and say. And
he got hit. He wants to hit.
Yeah, he wants one.
There you go.
Wants Javi to give him one here that he can
like,
rip this one.
Now. I'm not back here to take a free base. I'm back here to hit. So I was saying with my guys over there, I'm like, if he throws me, you know, 3-0, if he throws me a ball, I'm swinging. I'm not walking.
Yeah. Now, you know, but you kind of get to have that they all get to have that conversation, yourself included, which is we shared a field with these guys, right? Like, we were on the same field with these guys who had professional experience, that they played, and, you know, they went to the majors, right? They went to the show. And
they've lived what, you know, our dream is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Coach A actually had what's his name that went to Oregon? Can't recall.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He actually had him come to talk to the team last year.
Yeah.
He had him come in after practice. He had him talk to us about, you know, just his approach and how he got where he got, you know, because we got Mr. Personality up to bat right here, Sparty.
I was gonna say Sparty, kind of, you know, he got that character on him, right?
He's
a
character.
Spark plug.
Javi's busting the lefties inside here. Javi loves his little changeup. He's holding that over my head. He struck me out last year. But yeah, so
he chirped at you about it today too.
Yeah. Javi's always chirping, man. He's a trash talker all the way. Like, I was getting my stuff out of my car. Javi pulls up. He's like, "Why are you so little, man?" I'm like, "All right, dude. Here you go, Sparty."
Sparty able to.
Sparty Lachlan.
Knock one off.
Oh, you love to see the effort out of these guys. These guys, you know, they probably haven't played in a while. They're putting their bodies on the line.
Yeah. Alumni scored two there.
That. Let's go.
Oh, I mean, you had the conversation, right? I mean, competitors, man. I mean, it doesn't leave, right?
Does not go away.
You know, 4 decades later, you put the glove on, you strap them up one more time, you come back out here, and those juices come back, right? That competitive nature just
Aiden Leonard
comes back to the
takes a strike. This is my best friend right here, Aiden Leonard up to bat. Sparty taking second. Aiden Leonard down 0-1 quickly. Man, this guy going all the way to Pennsylvania to play some college.
Yeah.
It's commitment right there. I think he has some family up there, but he just loves baseball. There we go. Pulls
one there. Sounds off.
There we go. Yeah, Javi's just going. We got like 4 or 5 lefties this inning here. I'd love to see Jake Beck got that hit there. There you go, fouls one off. There's nothing better in baseball than seeing your PO friends get hits. You know, like Jared Cole and Jake Beck both got doubles. Man, everyone goes crazy. It's awesome, man. This entire thing, I mean, just being put together so quickly. I mean, like these memories, like people are going to be, if this continues, these are going to be memories and
for sure.
things people look forward to every year. Oh, nice foul ball there.
Well, we had the conversation, right? I mean, part of that conversation being, when this got set up, you're thinking maybe you get 12,
Yep.
or a dozen or two show up. And instead, you get 45, and then even then, you got people day of, right? Still wanting to.
Yeah.
We want to be a part of this, right? And so
That's just brings it back to loyal forever, man. I mean, everyone here. Good take there inside. I think it's 2-2. I mean, yeah, all these guys coming back just to play some ball. It's just so cool to see, reconnecting with everyone.
and making some new ones, right? Some of these guys you haven't met.
2-2 count to Aiden. Good take there on the changeup. Got a full count here.
Yeah, gets him to a full count here. Oh, we got
2-2.
2-2.
All right. Aiden Leonard, Mr. Walk over here. This dude either gets walk. There we go. He
Fouls one off.
He either walks or gets hit.
Well, most people with Leonard being out there, of course, you saw it last year a little bit. You were a little bit like that too last year, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to give you something easy. Leonard swings and misses.
That is a double play, I believe.
Yes, Sparty couldn't get it.
Looks a little hurt there. Oh, that's a quick way to end the inning, man.
There you go.
Little strike three, throw him out there, double play.
I'll go see, but I keep him out there. Okay. Let me go see. Well, actually, what
do you mean?
who just hit?
Aiden Leonard.
Leonard just hit.
Okay.
Number 18.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We'll have back on with Mr. Unberhagen.
Got Coach up here pitching,
Yeah,
right?
you got Coach
There you
coming
go.
up here right now, Mr.
Show him how it's
Mr.
done.
Craig.
Tell you what, he's probably not going to throw very hard, but I bet you he's going to throw him strikes, strike after strike.
I mean, you
Going
got
to put him in there.
Coach up here, class of 85, coming
Look at
out
him.
here and
Still
trying to
kicking,
spin this.
Looking great. He played shortstop
Yeah.
earlier, almost made a play.
He's spinning this.
Yeah.
Some of these guys kind of get the arm loose a little bit.
Yeah.
You just kind of have this melting pot of stories and experience, and because we were talking about it, I mean, not even just in the dugout side of it from the alumni, but all the families out here that all their stories that they get to share and have and what an amazing thing to be a part of. And
Totally.
like you said, it's something, hope that continues to be as it is. And something
I was going up to bat. Some of the parents I don't even know sometimes, but like no disrespect at all. Like I know their kid definitely. I just don't know.
You haven't met the parents,
right? And they're like, Jack, we'll give you $100 if you lay down a bunt. I'm like, no way. I am here to smack the ball.
Well, because like we said, you can't let them live it down, right? You got to
exactly.
you got to get something on them, and because then next year, right? You come back for assuming that continues to be as it is and doesn't blow up so big that you almost can't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you keep doing it and come back, then you keep hearing about it, right?
Right.
And then they're in the same locker room as you, and they're still going to chirp at you about it.
They're in our dugout now.
Exactly.
There's one part of Fletcher's game up to bat that is not talked about very much is his hitting, man. He's a consistent hitter.
You mean think Fletcher Wilson, especially after last season. It's the pitching, right? That everybody kind of thinks about, which is him as a pitcher, the way he kind of stepped in there.
Yeah.
In relief and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's Mr. Fundamental for sure. Hey, look at that.
Drives that one right out. Right over the short.
I mean, it's hard to get exit velo off of that slow right there. But, I mean, he does everything right.
Yeah.
If you want to look to that guy, as the right example. You'll never catch him doing something wrong.
Yeah.
He's a scholar, man. He has 4.0 GPA, whatever. Scholar. He's super smart. He's just all around, just a fantastic person to be around.
That's Jimmy Bramble. Pops this one up.
Let's see, this is where my expertise kind of weans here. These guys were freshmen when I was playing last year, so.
He's sophomore this year.
Yeah.
Got some work behind the plate, though, a little bit
yeah?
for him, too.
Here you go.
Set up and kind of shuffling around, right?
Yeah.
Was talking to Coach A, the conversation of some of these guys, like you said, he was freshman for you last year, JV team.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gets, because, tryouts coming up, a couple weeks, gets a little extra work in here today, a little first impression.
Right up the middle.
This one, right
There
up
you
the
go.
gap.
Yeah, this is his, if no one plays and coach just makes a team, it's going to be the older guys.
Yeah.
This is their time to show Coach A why they should be on the team.
Yeah.
And, right there, he's taking full opportunity there. You
Kind of a first little early audition,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
A little bit
like
another first impression,
exactly.
right?
Because you got to be hungry as a younger guy. That's how Osby, Jason, all those guys were. They wanted every at bat, every pitch. They wanted every rep they could get to show coach that, hey, I can play at this level.
Right.
I can do this just like they can. And tell you what, ooh, got a cannon down there. It's a little high though. But yeah, definitely these younger guys got to prove their spot. They got to take a spot. They don't have one right now. They got to take it from someone. And, that sparks that competition in the older guys as well.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not letting anyone take my spot,
And you got shoes to fill, right?
Absolutely.
Yours included, as it is out there, right?
Right.
They got shoes to fill. You had that, right field spot hunkered down, and you owned that position probably about as well as any who have come through, especially of late, that, had that saw it cleanly, fielded it cleanly, the range on it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that power swing that you got going for you, right?
That doesn't hurt either.
No.
Yeah. It's really, each player is unique and has a different skill set, and that's what makes this game fun. You, as a coach, you learn about your own players, and you see how they interact, how these guys work with these guys, and you ultimately try to put, a team together that complements all of these guys' abilities.
Sure. And it's you have the team aspect of it, right? That you have that chemistry, right? That even from, and casual folks who watch this, nice hit there from Calvert, just kind of rips out
both
into
of
the
them,
gap.
right? Sophomores?
Both sophomores, yeah.
There
There you go.
That's what we're saying right there.
Rips that into the gap, and you had Dane Calvert, junior now, actually. He was sophomore last year for you, but junior now, able to rip one in there. But, you kind of have that aspect of it, the chemistry kind of gets to be built up a little bit more for some of these younger guys, being able to be on this field with some of those seniors that you kind of have that. The infield, pitcher to catcher, and, of course, in the outfield, too. Ooh. That one skips over the plate.
3 little knocks in a row. That's
8-7.
A little small ball here. Just little singles.
Yeah. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
But, you have that. Casual fans at home probably won't understand as much. But even in the outfield, right, from left to center and across, there's that chemistry out there because you three are still having to communicate, right?
And there's an energy there. You're goofing off. While the pitcher's warming up, we're just goofing off out in the outfield. It's different from the infield because no one can hear you.
Right.
So, so we're out there, messing around. But then, when push comes to shove, the chemistry is absolutely there. You say one word, sometimes not even any words at all. You're like, hey, I'm shifting over, you shift over. And the chemistry is not easy to build, but when it's there, it's definitely there. It helps the entire team.
You have kind of events like this, right, that, you get to have.
Absolutely.
Like I said, some of that kind of gets to be built. The seniors and, everything else, guys who've been around each other long enough, that's already there, right? You already have that. You don't have to worry about that as much. But you have as each graduating class, you have to fill those spots. You kind of have to rebuild that chemistry year over year, and have to, especially, in these moments, those young guys have to try and, I don't want to say necessarily kind of appeal to, your upper class, but they want to kind of fit in, right? And they kind of want to make sure that they
Jason's
match.
nephew. Oh, no. Jason's nephew. Ball eats him up. I think he's safe. Javier, 2 for 4. But no, I mean, like, that wasn't possible until Coach A came in and established. He said to us, this is one team, And so with that being said, it's, possible for these young guys to come in, talk with them, talk with the older guys, mingle with them. It's so much better, not only just for the young guys, but just for the team in general.
Yeah.
You could put, freshman in for a senior. Yeah. Everyone knows his name. It's that flexibility that it builds, and just the team, in general, that it just helps.
And you want to have, you guys as seniors too. I mean, how much of it, when a guy like Jason comes in, or an Osby, right? You talked about having to lift up somebody like Osby a little bit and kind of help him kind of settle into it. But at the same time, you guys kind of have to have, I would think, that comfort with them coming in and filling that role that, hey, man, when, like you said earlier, from an outfield standpoint, that when the chips are down, it's showtime. Yeah. They're going to pull their weight, and they're going to perform in their capacity, so you can do your job. Yeah. Right? And, that I would think how much of that then matters too. Like you said, prior to Coach A compared to
Logan with a little
after Coach A. Nice. Kenny lines out straightaway center, retires the side. So you want to have as it fills up, especially over the course of a season. Yeah. Injuries happen, right? You're going to have to fill those guys in. That you want to know they're able to come in and they're able to perform. How about, you had that last year a little bit with Osby. You had that a little bit, as Jason Martinez kind of comes on. And, of course, you guys are able to see it in practice. We're only there, obviously, during games and everything. But, how much of that is it from the practice standpoint to the conversations that you have with them about that comfortability that you have, that they're going to go out, they're going to perform, and they're going to, do their job so we can do ours?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's one less thought in your head when you're facing, 92. Mm-hmm. If I get on, is it even worth getting on? Can this guy, and if you're confident in that guy behind you and that guy in front of you while you're on deck, it's one less thought. And, that's the goal when you're hitting and when you're fielding. Just focus on the thing right in front of you, and just gives you that sense of comfort, just believing in your own guys. And, for sure, absolutely, impressive that these guys have been able to, to fill in roles that the seniors before I had left. Yeah. They filled in these holes. And that's just, kudos to them, for sure.
Because there's no transfer portal, right? There's no transfer.
Right.
Not yet, right? The way it's trending, there may be one, down the pipe. Who knows? Yeah. But, because, no transfer portal, you don't have that, the guys who walk in and are on the team 2 weeks from yesterday, turns into that these are the guys that you're rolling with going into the season. I mean, even right now, Javier Cruz out here.
Yeah, he was
a sophomore last year, too.
He was definitely – he didn't make varsity. If there was one more roster spot, it would be him.
It would have been him?
Yeah, he's a talented pitcher. I'm not sure about his hitting. I don't remember, but I just don't remember. But for sure he was next up on that list. So he's definitely going to be an asset to Coach A this year. He's a strike thrower, and he has some pretty good stuff. So
stand up.
can give his headphones back if you want. I mean, James Scott Sr.
He's going to be doing it, for the good chunk of the season. So he will enjoy not having to put these on for a little bit longer if he can help it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the velo from Cruz right here.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, from the outside point, it looks like our pitching is going to be less than it was last year, losing Beck and Luke. But from last year to this year, these guys, I can tell already, have stepped up, put in the work, and gotten a lot better already. And that comes with your own work ethic and your own in-game experiences. Where things like this, they are fun. But they provide the in-game experience that you can't get anywhere else.
Well, and to your point, right? Guys like Cruz, guys like Besa, guys like Fletcher, some of the stuff, the work that they have been putting in the offseason, it's kind of their first opportunity, really, unless they're playing travel ball or anything. Yeah. Really, their first opportunity to kind of come out and throw it live, right? And kind of have that live feel, like you're saying, that in-game experience it a little bit. And you said, to your point, pitching's going to be less. But like you said earlier, it's just going to be different.
Right, it's different.
It's going to be different now, right? Because you don't have somebody who has the arm that can just last, right? And that's through no fault of their own. Somebody wins
specimen
right?
Jake Beck over here.
Jake Beck wins the genetic lottery, and you don't. You just have to make up for it in other ways.
And it's just a different dynamic. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's a different team every year. It's a different team every game, depending on pitchers and lineups. I mean, and you learn that and you roll with it. And
that's kind of ties into the beauty of what it is, right? That you have that chemistry, that dynamic, but it's one that is constantly changing. Michael Cunningham, class of 2010, the one to rip that one into the gap. But you have that it's constantly shifting, it's constantly changing. A dynamic here, right? We're kind of seeing it. This group of alumni that, like we said, spans 4 decades coming out here, their own dynamic internally that constantly kind of cycles through as they're kind of being out here, and then that turns into the current group that is out there from a game-to-game standpoint. Now that constantly changes. That, to your point, that chemistry then that you guys develop in practice matters so much more then because of that, because it's constantly changing and being meshed around.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. That chemistry, we've been talking about it a lot, and just because it's so true. I mean, it makes or breaks teams.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got guys, sitting on the bench while you're at bat. That's not a good feeling as a hitter. You got everyone on the fence, cheering your number, pushing you.
Sure.
And especially if you K up or you ground out, you got guys giving you high fives and stuff like that because they believe in you and they know the person you are is, greater than 1 AB.
And you talk about that, and again, casual fans at home, parents who are watching, families who will be watching, who maybe don't quite understand to the same extent that we do, that, the conversation of it is, from a batting standpoint, a lot of people like to think of it is a one-on-one, right? And there is that element of it, that it's you versus the pitcher.
It's a battle.
But it's also the element of you get a runner on first or you get a runner in scoring position, that it turns into, hey, man, now it's not just a battle, but it's a battle of how do I do this and win this battle myself, but also help the runner in scoring position to do his part, right? Because if I hit, a single grounder right into the, second or third gap there, that's great. If I hit it to the shortstop, maybe I get on base. But now I've kind of, I've failed the opportunity here, for guy on second. So, it puts 2 on, but, I can't help him get to the next bag and so on and so forth. That chemistry then carries over to that. And like you said, it has to keep happening because the batting order is what the batting order is. The first 3 and so on. But that doesn't mean it's going to be that way for the remainder of the game. You have to be confident that the 9 hole is going to back up first, and 4 and so on.
I mean, that's how it ended up being last year.
Yeah.
The bottom of our lineup sometimes put the team on their shoulders in the later games, especially.
Yeah.
I remember that. They, I mean, you know, the science of momentum.
Right.
I mean, it's you can't study it, but it's absolutely there. It's and to be able to roll, great curveball by Javi Cruz right there.
Gets
really
another one.
frozen.
Sit down here. Got Hutch Hornfisher.
Got Gas
that
up to
went
bat.
down, and Gas coming up now.
Jacob Gas has a towel. This dude just thinks he's a quarterback. But he has an extra pair of gloves in his back pocket. Woo!
Swing and miss there.
I mean, every one of these dudes is trying to hit a nuke right now. No one is trying to hit a single right now, I promise you. Gas is no exception with
especially
swinging.
since, according to our scoreboard, that Varsity has overcome and taken a 1-run lead
That's not good.
over the Alums.
Can't let that happen.
So you're down by 1 now.
All right. No, but yeah, Jacob Gas, this dude was great. I missed him for sure. He was, you know, ball hit to him. You can look away. You can walk away, and you know the play's going to be made. You know, every time.
Yeah.
That was his, you know, major contribution.
Kind of that sense of comfort, right, that we talked about, right? That,
and,
you know.
yeah, that all, you know, comes back to, you know, hitting or pitching. You want the least amount of worry possible.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to be you and that pitcher. I mean, that's the ideal thing. Just keep it in yourself, and that is made way, way easier when the rest of your team has your back. What's going on here?
Coming up, I think it's still out there. And then Travis Eckert on deck here.
Jacob Gas does not want to strike out. That's why he's walking away. A little curveball outside. Ooh, fastball. Runner does not advance.
Way outside. Now, the one thing we've talked about, and we've had a chance to kind of talk about this current Austin High team, a little bit about your time here. How much, though, of the coaching from Coach A and your experience here, being able to reconnect with some of these guys, has helped you now that you're at Shriner?
Yeah, I mean, the situation we were in my junior year, where he had to come in, he stepped up and he took. That's not
Gas straight to short.
It's a line drive infield fly right there. Wow.
Right over to Hayden.
Coach A came in, and I'm pretty sure the first time he talked to us as a team, he's like, guys, this team, like this season, it's going to be all about adversity.
Yeah.
And so that was our word that the entire season, adversity, working through tough times as a team. Yeah. I mean, I have that on my glove now. I mean, it's a nice hit there.
Eckert rocks this one into the gap between left and center. I talked about how the Alumni had fallen behind, and in one swing, Eckert has resolved that.
They heard you for sure.
11-9 now, Alumni lead.
That's what we like to hear.
That chirping, right? You got to keep that chirping, right?
It's because I'm over here and I'm not chirping them. That's why they're back in it. No, but yeah, I mean, the shared experiences as a team, and just that just builds you as a team. I mean, when you're in arguably the hardest conference in the state of Texas, that's the stuff that matters. You know, when you're going up against, you know, sophomores throwing freaking 94 committed to Tennessee, you don't want to feel like a guy on a boat. You know, you want your team around you, build up that support. I mean, that's what we did. We competed both years against those, you know, powerhouse teams, and that's all just from chemistry and from our camaraderie for sure. And that is the number. If Coach A could take nothing or could coach nothing but one thing, it would be chemistry. Yeah, absolutely. He's taken that to another level that I've never ever been a part of, and that's what he preaches. And nice hit, Oppo. Might drop. Good
John
play.
Eric Giannis.
Good play by the left fielder there. We got Graham Mueller, the PO.
Coach A
going to
kind
be up to
of
bat.
back to directing traffic here. Once a coach, always a coach. Sometimes that mentality just kind of takes over a little bit, right?
Yep.
Comes in and just starts kind of.
Hey, we got a new pitcher in here. We got I got to give it to Javier Cruz. He has great taste in number. He is wearing the greatest number in baseball.
I was going to say, little bit of maybe a little bit of a bias there.
Possibly.
Maybe just slight, but
maybe.
What have you. But and you talk about Coach A, that chemistry that he coaches real well, and that if he could only coach, it'd be that one aspect.
Totally.
How is that message? You have the adversity written on your glove still to this day, being at Shriner. How has that coaching on the chemistry helped you to kind of fit in now at Shriner and kind of fill that role there?
He can preach it all he wants.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you don't learn how to do it.
Right.
And that is exactly what everyone did. We all learned it. We all learned how to incorporate that and to face it and to thrive off of it. And so that not being, given to us, but having to learn it and to overcome it, that teaches way more than anything given. That you learn so much more from that. And, going into college, you go from feeling, the oldest here at Austin High to the youngest there.
Right.
And so it's crazy how that works, but that's how you feel. But
a little bit back to the bottom of the ladder rungs now then, yeah?
But, embracing the mindset of adversity and almost the bring it on type of mindset, it doesn't bring you down. It brings you up, Like you say, all right, bring it on. I'm going to overcome this just like I did before. Yeah. Like I can do that. And so, it's not just a baseball thing to learn. It's a life thing.
Sure. Yeah.
They say that, baseball teaches life lessons all the time. And, it's true. It's going to be an element of my life forever.
Right. Yeah. That chemistry element that comes and is a part of that.
Yeah. If you don't have what's it called? If you don't have that mindset, embrace Aiden Leonard behind me over here. Messing with me over here. It's so cool how we have a center field camera now.
Yeah.
All those different angles. I was so excited when y'all announced that we were doing this, junior year. Yeah. My junior year. When y'all announced that we were doing this, I was like, no way. Because, I have family everywhere and they're not always going to be able to make it.
Sure.
The fact that they can, tune in here.
Yeah.
And see just as much, if not more, with the commentary than some people here.
Yeah. You get, the new edition of that camera, which the wireless and everything first kind of got implemented back in football season for the idea of being able to have the ability to have on-field cameras.
Graham, the PO, all three of our POs have gotten hits today. There we go.
Drives one down.
That is
gets
what we'd
on.
love to see.
But, the core element of it was, hey, let's have these on-field cameras. We'll test our wireless capability for baseball for the fact of being able to have the center field camera in addition to being able to stretch out a little bit more from the base camera standpoint and what have you. And so it has worked extremely well. We've been pretty pleased with the result because our concern was, is it going to reach from there to here that we're going to get a clear image? It's worked pretty well today. We're pretty comfortable with that. So we'll have our fourth camera by the time the season starts. So we'll have the two base cameras, the camera behind the plate, and then the camera looking in from center.
That is awesome.
So we will be set and ready to roll. Of course, you and Ann will probably be tuning in if for no other reason than to chirp.
Oh yeah. We'll be commenting on the live.
There you go. There you go.
Wow, another strikeout by Javier. No.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And Yeah, like we said when I first got on here, I mean, we're chirping, but it's only because it's all love. It's only because of our, connection with these guys. Oh, back off. I mean, these guys have had, the adversity, if not more, than we have, and they're overcoming them. They've worked all this whole offseason.
Sure.
It's about time to get started. I mean, they're antsy to get started, and I know.
Like the chemistry there that you talked about?
Nothing builds the chemistry on this team more than that. What I was talking about, the trip to wherever they're going to go this year.
Yeah.
Where did we go last year? Port A.
I think this year it's Sinton.
Sinton. Right, yeah, we went to Sinton. Yeah, so right by the coast there. I mean, man, you get to play baseball, go live in a big house together, and walk to the beach all in one day with your friends.
Yeah.
That was the greatest part. It was dark. We played football in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never gonna forget that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not even baseball related, but it's with those dudes that you're gonna go out and play with, and it's irreplaceable. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely probably my favorite aspect.
Have you had any of those kinds of road trips being at Shriner yet?
Not yet. Not yet. But college ball, it's pretty much that's just how it is all the time.
Yeah.
We travel.
All of them are road trips, then, right? All those are kind of road trips. Maybe not quite as nice of a setting as being on the beach and playing football in the ocean, depending on where you go.
Yeah, right.
Some of those college towns they don't have the most to do, right?
Exactly. But Coach taking a little walk there first. There you go.
Coach Craig taking the walk.
Preaching those fundamentals.
How is it being with Coach Craig kind of in the dugout? He been doing a little more as a coach, because we had the conversation about Coach A being over here even with a headset on and still coaching. Same with Coach Craig being out here, and, once a coach, always a coach, still coaching?
Absolutely not. No, yeah. He is having the time of his life. But that's about it.
He has truly retired from
truly. And I would be the same way. I'm like, I don't want to make another lineup. I've made 300 in my entire life. Someone else make it. I'm just here to swing the bat and pitch in his case. And I love it. Just enjoying being out here. It's, become a fantastic looking day out here.
First weekend of January playing baseball. Probably wouldn't think of weather quite like this, but
it's
pretty
Texas for you.
It is Texas for you.
Barbecuing on Christmas.
Barbecue a little bit out here today. You had to get your burger, right?
Yeah, Jason's uncle went from K'ing up to grilling some patties over there, and I went ahead and had a couple of those. And he touches third for an out.
Yeah.
And I guess that's 2 outs. I had no idea how many outs we had, but these dudes look about done.
I think that is it.
There we go.
So, Jack, we'll appreciate you being out here. I will let you rejoin, and Mr. Bird gave you back your gloves, so I will let you rejoin the alumni, and I know you got some guys that want to still probably say hi to you and everything else.
Totally.
You can still chirp, but I'm sure they you get to do a little bit more than chirp now. So
without a doubt.
Well, appreciate having you on, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to keeping up with you at Shriner there.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you, Jack. Jack Unberhagen on the call, and we will get set to wrap up the first meeting between alumni and current varsity. Perhaps to the surprise of no one, alumni, the vets, they've been around the block more than a few times, come out on top 12-9. Not that the score matters. Like we said, the varsity roster is not the final roster. It's a roster of who's available. And the alumni, 45 of them strong, able to come out and be a part of this. So outstanding atmosphere and the stories, right? Being able to have Coach A on and talk with Coach A, and being able to hear from Jack and his experience from last year, and have the conversation from years prior, just kind of a unique experience, one that you would have to be out here to really appreciate and to have to be a part of it to really appreciate. It is just a little bit different, and I think it puts a nice spin on what should be this season. Moving forward, should be an outstanding season. We're looking forward to it. James will not have any parting words for you. He's got, being present or acting president at least of Booster Club or what have you. Got to be out here kind of doing some of the administrative tasks. But it an opportunity for a lot of these guys to kind of, and you're kind of seeing it right now. Crew's meeting with one of them, the alumni, just kind of having the opportunity to just kind of keep those conversations, and he's meeting with Richard Cunningham, went to Baylor, all Big 12 in his time there. All of these aspects just kind of come home to roost in these situations, and you just have so much to appreciate. The stories, 4 decades of experience in that dugout among the alumni, and it's just, I think, incredible to see and to be a part of for all of them, and for all these guys who have professional experience. I think even if nothing else, the ability for these varsity kids that get to say we shared a field, not just figuratively, but we shared a field with some of these guys who have done that, and I think it's a really cool experience. I think they get to take that with them. I think that's awesome, and would love nothing more than to see this kind of become a tradition and continue. If you were not a part of this and you want to, certainly keep an eye out for it, assuming that they would do it next year, because the feedback that I've had and heard, just kind of from conversations and seen, this has just been absolutely fantastic. So that'll do it for us. This is not the season, right? We still got a couple weeks ago. Won't be back until February, most likely. There'll be a couple scrimmages, maybe a bit coming up, but really kind of next month, baseball season will start to kick into full swing. We'll have a few tournaments, and then we'll get rolling. So that'll do it for us. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew, our camera crew, Shep, Fatima, Lulu Korn, our producer, and, of course, Mr. James Scott being out here. We appreciate Coach A and Mr. Jack Unberhagen stopping by. And, of course, appreciate our director of broadcasting, Mr. Merle Bertrand, and Suna, of course, being on for technical support. And, of course, Skylar, who Skylar Gillespie being at home and kind of making sure that we're running smoothly, as it were. But that'll do it for us. The alumni were victorious, but this was a lot of fun, and so I would say that I think we all won from having fun with this today. So that'll do it for us. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew, we'll see you in a month for when Austin Maroon High baseball returns.